and head coach
Hello and welcome to Northwestern Softball. Tomas Moran here with Pierson Strandquist, live from Sharon J. Drysdale Field. It is a balmy 37 degrees here in Evanston, Illinois, and the Northwestern Wildcats are taking on the Mississippi State Bulldogs in yet another opportunity against a high-caliber opponent here in their non-conference slate. The Wildcats looking for some revenge after going down 14-0 yesterday against the Bulldogs. They will not look to repeat that result in this opening weekend in Evanston. Pierson, do you have the starting lineups for us?
I do indeed, Tomas, and obviously we are both so excited to be here, hopefully for Northwestern to not repeat the result from yesterday. Starting with defensive lineups for Northwestern, starting pitcher is Lauren Boyd. Now, in going up and down the order for Mississippi State, leading off at center field is Sierra Sacco, then third baseman Nadia Barbary, catcher Jesse Blaine, shortstop Kylie Edwards, right fielder Kiara Sells, designated player Paige Ernestus, left fielder Morgan Bernardini, first baseman Riley Hull, and finishing off second baseman Morgan Stiles. And so the key here, Tomas, will see if Boyd can stifle this clearly good Mississippi State offense. Obviously, Mississippi State is 26-5 this year, and the Cats are at a kind of less good, honestly, 13-10 record. So we'll see what happens here as we're about to approach first pitch.
And that's exactly the key there, Pierson. As you mentioned, this Mississippi State team ranked number 19 in the nation. Northwestern, three-time Big Ten champions in a row, but they have struggled against high-caliber opposition. Their best win so far this season, defeating number 8 Duke earlier on. And we'll get started off here with the Cats. Raylan Chafin here at pitcher. And Mississippi State's number 29.
Sierra Sacco.
Sacco here.
And correction, obviously.
Excuse me, Lauren Boyd.
Yeah.
Lauren Boyd
Yeah.
for Northwestern. Getting a little mixed up here with the wind on the papers. Lauren Boyd here pitching for the Cats. Sierra Sacco batting for the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Sacco, the senior, batting .511 on the season.
You know, as we start off, Tomas, how are we doing today? Are you doing good?
We're doing all right. You know, it was a bit of a tussle getting everything together. You know, it's a bit chilly out here, but it's a beautiful sunny day, and we're all set up as we've got a couple of balls here. No outs yet. And that's a third ball. No strikes, by the way. So 0 strikes, ball 3.
Yeah, not a good start for Northwestern. Lauren Boyd looking a little frazzled, has not even been close to the plate in her first 3 pitches, all outside to the left.
And Sacco hasn't even had to swing it yet. And that's a strike finally there from Boyd. Boyd with a 5-2 record so far on the season. She'll look to avoid that 4th ball. And she avoids it indeed. She gets a second strike. Sacco still has not even swung the bat. 5 pitches in here.
And obviously Sierra Sacco is an amazing player. 5'11" batting average on the season. Just insane production from the center fielder of Mississippi State.
And there we go. It's a strikeout for the Northwestern Wildcats. Lauren Boyd, after, as you mentioned, Pierson, a shaky start, 3 balls in a row, then follows it up with 3 strikes in a row and strikes out Sierra Sacco, the star center fielder for the Bulldogs.
And Sierra Sacco did not take her bat off her shoulder. Interesting approach they're trying to take. Obviously, Lauren Boyd, not the great. It's a 3.34 ERA, not even that bad with 5 wins for the Cats. She's probably their best pitcher right now.
And now it's Nadia Barbary batting here for the Bulldogs, and it's a strike here once again. Boyd with a 4-strike streak right now. We'll see what she can come up with here. Good turnout here at Drysdale Field. Opening weekend as another pitch goes by, and that'll be a ball. So we've got 1 ball and 1 strike here, 1 out, top of the first.
And yeah, for Lauren Boyd, like I said before, 3.34 ERA, 5-2 this season, 9 games started, so a few no decisions, but overall a good start to the season for her and probably the best chance for the Cats to win in this set.
And that ends up being another ball. So we've now got 2 balls here. Barbary batting 364 on the season, junior. And Boyd with the pitch, and it'll be a little low. And we have yet to see a Bulldog swing the bat, Pierson. It's been quite a few plays now.
Just a lot of pitches, just kind of seeing what Lauren Boyd is going to offer. Obviously a lot of balls so far as well. 3 balls in this at bat, 3 balls in the last one. She has to get more control.
And finally another strike here for Boyd.
That's a way to do it.
2 strikes, 3 balls, 1 out for the Wildcats. Northwestern off to a solid start considering that the Bulldogs haven't even, let alone get on base, they haven't even swung the bat yet.
Yeah, Lauren Boyd's doing a good job battling here.
And finally a hit, but it's going to go into foul territory. So it'll be once again Barbary, the third baseman for the Bulldogs.
And a lot of noise here at the Drysdale Field. The Cats fans getting involved, trying to help Lauren Boyd. Obviously, she's gotten back into both counts, being down 2 hitters counts in a row. Let's see what she can do here as the pitch is about to come.
And Boyd here with what could be a decisive pitch. And it gets hit. And the Cats are able to get it over to first base, and it'll be an out. Caught by number 10, Kansas Robinson, the first baseman for the Northwestern Wildcats, and that'll be a second out here in the first inning. Northwestern not allowing the Bulldogs to get on base here. 1 more out left in the inning, in the top of the first.
Good battling from Lauren Boyd. Both counts, she's had a lot of pitches, but she's able to get effective outs, and that's a good play there for Bridget Donahue going across her left side to get that over to first base.
And now it's Jessie Blaine here for the Bulldogs batting, the senior. And once again, that's going to be a strike here for Boyd. Boyd catching fire a bit.
And we have home plate umpire Michael Hers here today. He was here yesterday as well, and so far been pretty consistent from what I've seen. We're right behind the plate, so we have a good view of what balls and strikes will be.
And that's a wonderful strike there from Boyd, directly to the catcher, and we had Blaine going for it there, but unable to make contact with the softball.
A ton of movement on that pitch, so hard for Jessie Blaine to catch up on. You can't not swing at that, that's in the strike zone, but.
And that's going to go to the foul area on the left-hand side of the diamond.
And Tomas, obviously the last game did not go as they wanted, 14-0, and they got mercy ruled. They only played 5 innings, but so far a much better start, and this is what they're going to need. Pitching and defense, they say it wins championships, but for the Cats, it just has to win one of these games.
Yeah, absolutely. Giving up 14 runs in 5 innings was a terrible result for the Cats, and they're going to look to remedy that today as Boyd now with another pitch, and it's a strikeout. The Northwestern Wildcats starting off in fantastic fashion, getting 3 outs right away. No Bulldogs even got on base. So that'll do it for the top of the first. Now it'll be the Cats batting. But Pierson, what a start for Northwestern.
1-2-3 is so huge for a team that gave up 3 runs in the first yesterday. And for the Cats, the fans are getting involved. Everyone's getting involved. When you're the underdog, even if you're at home, it really means a lot to start off strong like they did right there. And it's going to be huge for Lauren Boyd if she can keep that up and have her team and the stadium behind her.
Absolutely, and you got to remember it's opening weekend for these Northwestern Wildcats. They haven't played at home so far this year before yesterday. So, it's so important to get that win, and especially against, top-tier opposition like Mississippi State. And that being said, Mississippi State, sure, they're 26-5, they're ranked 19th in the nation, but it is very difficult to beat a team 2-3 times in a row, no matter who you're playing against, and especially on the road, and especially, you have to mention it, these conditions, it's 35 degrees, it's windy, that's not typically the conditions in Starkville, Mississippi.
No,
so that's certainly goes to the Cats' advantage.
That is for sure. I mean, I'm sure their hands are just as cold as mine are, Tomas. And obviously for Mississippi State, Raylan Chafin, the right-hander's in. She has been incredible this season. A 15-1 record, including a win yesterday. Just completely dominated not only the Cats, but pretty much every team she's faced. A measly 1.25 ERA. I mean, it's just ridiculous, Tomas, how good Raylan Chafin is. It's just hard to fathom. It's just hard to fathom. I mean, no one, not only on this Cats team, but I'd argue just even in the Big Ten, is anywhere close to Chafin's quality, and that's just a testament to how good the SEC is as a Diamond Sports conference.
Absolutely. I mean, Raylan Chafin has 1.25 ERA, a record of 15-1 so far this season. I mean, it's really impressive what the senior is doing here as she gets ready to pitch her first ball of the afternoon, and it'll be Grace Nito, the senior here for Northwestern, batting. And to start off, we've got a strike, and that's what Chafin does. Chafin getting to fundamentals here for the Bulldogs. She'll look to do precisely what Lauren Boyd was able to do. We'll see if the Cats can manage to get on base here, and that'll be a foul ball. Nito able to get a little bit of contact on it, but not enough to really change the trajectory of the ball, which just went backwards.
And yeah, Raylan Chafin, I mean, already 2 strikes here, looking to mow down the Cats easily. Her senior season last year, she led the nation with 14 wins, already 15 in this season alone.
And that's going to go way off to the side there from Chafin. That'll be to her right-hand side. So that'll be a ball. So we got 2 strikes, 1 ball. Grace Nito batting here for the Wildcats. Raylan Chafin in the pitcher circle for the Bulldogs. Chafin, and it gets hit by Nito, but the Mississippi State Bulldogs will manage to get that to first base on time, and it'll be an out. The first baseman, Riley Hull, able to make a play there.
Nice play for Mississippi State there. I mean, it was looking a little concerning. I mean, it was a little dribbler there towards Morgan Stiles, the second baseman, but she was able to just barely get it over a pacey Grace Nieto, a typical leadoff hitter, super fast, almost got there. Unfortunately, was not enough for the Cats' first out for the Mississippi State.
We've got Kelsey Nader here batting now for Northwestern, and it'll be a ball from Chafin to start off. Nader with the Imperial March as her walk-up song from Star Wars. Good pick.
Indeed, I like that. That's creative.
And now Chafin. And that's a great hit there from Nader, and Nader will get on base. The first on-base play here of the afternoon. Kelsey Nader for Northwestern gets there, the junior, with a .338 batting average and a .471 percentage of getting on base.
And that is what you have to do. I mean, that's exemplary from Kelsey Nader. Against someone like Raylan Chafin, you really cannot be going for power, right? Just go for contact, a beautiful swing off the barrel in between first and second base, and that is a single. That's how the formula here.
And this first pitch here between Chafin and Kaylee Avisato will be a strike. Avisato here batting for the Wildcats. The shortstop, freshman. And Chafin now with the pitch, and Avisato gets a hit, and it goes just under Chafin, and what a slide there! A slide from Nader as she reaches second base. Chafin just barely missed the ball, went under her glove. A bit of miscommunication there for the Bulldogs. Nader slides on to second base. Meanwhile, Avisato gets to first base. So now the Cats have people on first and second base. It's a good start here for Northwestern, who only has 1 out.
Unfortunately, Tomas, it's going to be a review here. The umpire crew coming together. Stacy Noonan was right there at second, and she could see, she called it safe on the play. We'll see. They're probably going to go to the booth here. Obviously, crew chief, home plate umpire Michael Hers is going to want to take a look. I mean, for the time now, I mean, what a slide by Kelsey Nader. Almost, we're a Chicago team, right, or Northwestern is, and that was like a Javi Baez-esque slide under the glove of Kylie Edwards. And I mean, for Mississippi State, that won't be an error. That'll be a fielder's choice. We'll see what the official review will end up producing. Either way, a good piece of contact from Kaylee Avasado, looking to bounce back from what was not a good game yesterday. Not only did she get no hits, but she also made 4 errors, and those are killer when you go against a team like Mississippi State, who is a team that almost is aiming for perfection this season, one of the top teams in one of the best conferences in the country, and you can't be doing that, and those mistakes cost the Cats, and probably were some of the reason why that game was so far and just got away from them. And so if this does stand and they have first and second, that would be huge for the Cats with only one out here.
Yeah, and those errors, Pierson, you mentioned them. The margin for error is so thin when you face off against, these top-ranked teams from the SEC, from the ACC. It's quite difficult, and it's not going to go very well for you if you're committing 4 errors, right? So as we wait for this Big Ten review, the Wildcats, I mean, if they can manage to keep this, this would be a fantastic start in this first inning to get players on first and second base, but we'll see here as the fans are awaiting. And Northwestern, 13-10 so far on the season, 4-0 in conference play, though it's worth mentioning, and the Wildcats on a 3-year, I should say, 3-year streak, winning the Big Ten regular season championship, as opposed to the tournament. They won the tournament once in that 3-year span. The Cats have always been kind of in that championship sort of contention tier, if you will, in the Big Ten. But when facing off against, the real, and the play here, it's good.
It's safe. What a slide there from Kelsey Nader. It has been confirmed. And the crew chief, Michael Hurst, has said decisively that the Cats will have a chance here to get on the board very early in the first. And this would be huge against someone as prolific as Raylene Chafin.
Very important here for the Cats as Kansas Robinson starts batting. And just as I was saying, for Northwestern as a Big Ten program, it is quite difficult going up against these top-tier SEC programs. The SEC really being a power conference in Diamond Sports. Is the pitch will go a bit off to Chafin's right-hand side, and it'll be a ball. So we got 1 ball, 0 strikes, 1 out. Kansas Robinson batting here for the Northwestern Wildcats.
Robinson takes a timeout here. That's smart. I mean, interrupting Raylene Chafin's timing, you could tell it bothered her a little bit. And for the Cats, I think the goal here just has to get it into the outfield, maybe advance the runner somehow. You do not want to hit it to the left side, though. It's a force out at third. You want to keep it out of the infield if possible.
And so the junior infielder for Northwestern going to try to keep this good streak going, and it appears another ball.
Yeah, just outside to the right-hand side here. Good at bat so far from Kansas Robinson, staying disciplined. The junior, not a great season so far offensively. Has started every game, but only a .214 average to show for it.
And Chafin has been pitching a bit too far to the right lately as Robinson hits it way up into the outfield, but it'll get caught easily by Mississippi State's Morgan Bernardini, the left fielder.
That was the one thing you did not want to do, Tomas. A ball that's just not far enough to advance anyone. Just skied it, it'll pop out to the outfield. We'll see if Bridget Donnie can pick her up, though. A good .275 average. Also started every game.
Donahue, the junior for Northwestern, now going up against Raylene Chafin. Bottom of the first, and that'll be a ball to start out. This time it goes a bit to the left of Chafin's side.
Another interesting thing to note, Tomas, both the base runners, Kelsey Nader and Kaylee Avasado, are the 2 leaders in steals for this team, 6 and 10 respectively, so we could see a double steal hit and run type thing coming up.
Something to keep an eye on for sure. And this time around it's going to be a bit too low and to Chafin's right-hand side, so it'll be another ball, 2 balls, 2 outs, 0 strikes, bottom of the first. Bridget Donahue, the third baseman, now batting for the Northwestern Wildcats, up against here with Raylene Chafin. Chafin, the pitch. And it appears that it'll be the first strike here with Donahue.
Just skimmed the outside corner. Great pitch from Raylene Chafin. Just got to reset for Donahue. Just like get back into the box. Don't think anything of it. Lock in.
Mississippi State looking for an out that will end the inning. Chafin, the pitch. And that's a swing and a miss, unfortunately.
Tomas, if I've ever seen a power swing, that was one. I mean, it looked like Bridget Donnie wanted to hit that over Welsh Ryan Arena. Unfortunately, a big whiff there. This would be huge for Raylene Chafin if she can get out of this inning unscathed.
And Chafin now with a pitch that could end the inning. And it just goes off the catcher. And it appears that Northwestern manages somehow to get everyone on base, so the bases are loaded.
What was Jessie Blade doing? I mean, Tomas right there. That was a strikeout. The ball was mishandled by catcher Jessie Blaine from Mississippi State, so you'd think she'd just throw it to first. Instead, she goes for third, and Kelsey Nader was already there. And so now the Cats have bases loaded on a strikeout. For our listeners who don't know, obviously on a strikeout, you'd think the inning would be over, but because that ball was not handled well, the catcher has to throw it to one of the bases for a force out, did not there. And so the Cats stay alive for now, although it looks like there might be another review.
It appears that the Bulldogs are discussing something, but just between teammates here in the pitcher circle.
Yeah, no review here. They're not going to challenge it. I think they're going to see whether or not it was a foul tip or not. Regardless, for the Cats, this is huge. Bases loaded, 2 outs obviously, but this is a big, big spot for Izzy Cunea. I mean, 315 average, played 22 games, started 21. I mean, if there's any time to slug, it's right here for Izzy.
And what a mistake from the Bulldogs. I mean, it was a clear strikeout to end the inning, and they just don't handle it well. So Northwestern now with the bases loaded, and the pitch will end up being a ball here. So we got 1 ball. Izzy Cunea batting for Northwestern, the sophomore for the Cats. Raylene Chafin, bases loaded for Northwestern, 2 outs, bottom of the first, 0-0. Northwestern, Mississippi State, Chafin, and the pitch is going to be a bit too far to her left-hand side, so it'll be another ball. And I mean, Northwestern with a golden opportunity to start out the game winning here.
Yeah, nothing in the first, but this could be huge for the Cats. 2 hits so far, bases loaded.
Cunea, the Illinois native from Oak Lawn, batting here for the Cats, and she'll hit it up. And it's gone! Oh, almost gone. It hit the wall, but the Cats getting on the board here, and they get 3 runs.
Whoa, a bases clearing triple, Tomas. I thought that might have been out too. Off the very, very top of the wall. A little preemptive there from you. But either way, I mean, a huge triple for Izzy Cunea, the Illinois native. Just destroyed that ball. She was sitting on the fast pitch, and Raylene Chafin gave it to her. This might be one of her worst innings of the entire year, which is just a testament to how good she is. But thank God it's the Cats who are the ones who are benefiting.
I mean, that was fantastic for the Wildcats, getting 3 runs early there, 3 RBI for Cunea. As now we've got Emma Ray, the sophomore, batting for Northwestern, and it'll be a ball. So now Northwestern up 3-0, 2 outs, bottom of the first, 1 ball, 0 strikes. Ray at bat, the catcher for Northwestern. Cunea at third. I mean, Northwestern couldn't have asked for a better start to this game.
Definitely not, especially facing Chafin once again.
And it looks like that indeed will be a strike here for Chafin. So 1 strike, 1 ball. And Northwestern, I mean, already in this first inning, they did what they weren't able to do yesterday, which is get on the board.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, for Northwestern, it's the same pitching matchup who just completely dominated you yesterday, and to come today and to be a goldfish, that's just so important.
And as that'll be a foul ball hit by Ray, but just went backwards into the net.
Off the netting. That's why the netting's there. You know, keeping us safe. That was going towards us a little bit.
Yeah, that'd be unfortunate.
Can't be taking Tomas and I out at the try to steal a field. No, sirree.
But yeah, I mean, this has to do wonders for team morale. I mean, after losing 14-0, getting 3 runs early, very important here in this afternoon matchup, as that'll be another strike. So we have 2 strikes and 2 balls, 2 outs.
But 3-0. 3-0 Cats in the first.
3-0 Northwestern, bottom of the first. Raylene Chafin here, pitching for the Bulldogs. It'll be Emma Ray as she hits it into foul ball territory.
And interestingly, I mean, I assume to prevent a repeat of what just happened, the Bulldogs are playing super far back. They're going deep just to prevent any long balls. That's an opportunity for a blue pit to potentially come into play here.
And they just really want to, exactly, I mean, they want to avoid, right, what just happened with Kanya. She was able to really expose that outfield.
It could hurt her, though. Ray's not known to be a power hitter.
And so Emma Ray with the hit, and it's a fly ball, and it'll get caught out in the outfield once again by the Bulldogs left fielder, Bernardini. And so that's the end of the first inning, Pierson. 3-0 Northwestern.
Yeah, I mean that's really huge for the Wildcats. A 3-0 start. It has to feel good if you're Lauren Boyd coming up back to the pitching circle and feeling like, yeah, you can do well. We're not going to go to commercial break start. We're having a little bit of technical issues, so we're just going to keep it here, Tomas. But yeah, I mean, for Northwestern, it's a dream start. After going 1-2-3 to score 3 runs, that's super big, and you can see that's rattled Mississippi State a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Bulldogs are not used to starting out games like this. They've only lost 5 games all season, 26-5. So we'll see what Mississippi State can do to battle this kind of adversity. But yeah, I mean, the energy right now for Northwestern is great. The crowd's shown out. You know, they got involved in the game a bit, and just overall, it's a really good feeling. You know, not just to get on the board, but to really get up by those 3 runs against a team that throttled you yesterday.
Indeed, Tomas. And I will say, I thought I might have gotten the call there when they had the little blooper, but a great play by the left fielder of Mississippi State, Morgan Bernardini. The Cats, unfortunately, not score the 4th run, but that's okay. I think they're happy with this, and I think their goal is just going to be to limit runs now and hopefully be able to get through this game and keep this 3-0 lead.
Absolutely. I mean, for Northwestern, the name of the game is limiting Mississippi State, right? Mississippi State is a very powerful offense, right? High-powered. I mean, they showed them that yesterday, scoring 14 runs in just 5 innings.
One batter has less than a 295 average on Mississippi State in the starting lineup today. I mean, up and down the lineup. I mean, the first batter, obviously Sierra Sacco is such prolific, 5'11" batting average. You go to the bottom, Morgan Stiles at second base, still 296. I mean, that is just insane for a team to be that good. And so hopefully Lauren Boyd can have a repeat of her first inning and kind of shut them down once again.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Mississippi State just has some absurd numbers, right? As we start off this second inning, but as you mentioned, Lauren Boyd, a great start for the senior pitcher as she gets off her first pitch of the inning, and it'll be a ball a little too far to her right-hand side. Kylie Edwards, the sophomore from Indiana, batting for Mississippi State. And Boyd now in the pitcher's circle. She'll wind up, and the pitch this time is going to result in another ball.
Just a bit outside. Both of those were good pitches, trying to challenge the batter. Good discipline from Kylie Edwards. And interesting, Tomas, Kylie Edwards wears number 67. Definitely not a traditional number, not only in baseball, but pretty much any sport.
Yeah, 67, very rare, as the first strike of the inning here comes from Boyd. So that'll be a strike on Kylie Edwards. 1 strike, 2 balls.
I will say, though, I like it. 67 is unique. I think that kind of differentiates her from the rest of not only Mississippi State, but kind of probably the whole conference and the whole nation, honestly.
Definitely makes you more recognizable. As Boyd here with the pitch, and it went a bit too far to the right, it looks like.
And Kylie Edwards trying to intimidate Boyd. It's a little bit of a Soto shuffle there, kind of scuffing during the batter's box. A little bit of taunting from Boyd. 3-1 count. I mean, Lauren Boyd has been able to get through this, or past this rather. I meant Kylie Edwards, obviously.
And a strike here for Boyd. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Coming back once again. I mean, Kylie Edwards decided to taunt. She might pay the price here.
Yeah, Edwards still hasn't really swung. It's really kind of a battle of the wills if you think about it. Who's going to budge first? And looks like we'll take a little bit of a break here.
Timeout called by the catcher of Northwestern, Emma Ray.
Interesting.
You don't usually see that, Tomas. Yeah. Usually it's the batter's timeout, but the catcher gets one too.
And so now Boyd will go up for her pitch, and Edwards hits it to the foul area on the left-hand side.
Yeah, hit the netting there. Almost hit her batter behind her. Kiara Sells, the right fielder for Mississippi State. Got out of the way, a little bit of a dive there. Kind of a little bit impressive.
And so now we'll have Boyd looking to get another strikeout today. She's been fantastic so far, early on, granted, but Northwestern has not given up any runs yet.
Or hits, rather.
Or hits, yeah. No one's gone on base yet for the Bulldogs. As Boyd here with the pitch, and it looks like it'll be a single here for Edwards as she hit it not super far out, but out to the left-hand side of the field.
And that has to feel good if you're Kaylee Avasado, the shortstop from Northwestern. Even though it's a single and she does not get the play, a really nice dive. And if the softball dimensions were larger, probably an out as well. So a good play for her, no error there, and a nice single for Kylie Edwards.
And so now, once again, we'll have the Bulldogs here at bat. This time it's Kiara Sells, the junior from Texas.
From Jasper.
Jasper, Texas. And interestingly, Mississippi State has multiple players from Jasper, Texas.
Really?
Yes.
This is, I guess it's just the powerhouse for the Bulldogs there. I mean, interesting they wouldn't go to like Texas State or something.
Yeah, because they have also number 9 Avery, or excuse me, not Garden. As
Kiara Sells. Right
Kiara
behind her.
Sells, yes.
Yeah.
Kiara Sells is from Jasper, Texas, and Kalani Sells.
I would have to think they're related.
Her sister,
Yeah.
you would imagine, the freshman, is also from Jasper, Texas. That would make sense.
Indeed.
As we have 1 strike and 1 ball here, Lauren Boyd pitching, and it's a hit from Sells, and it's way up into the center of the field, and you got to imagine that's an easy catch there for the Northwestern Wildcats. So that'll be an out on the Mississippi Bulldogs. Northwestern still off to their hot start here.
And you know, Tomas, even in the cold, you could never say no to a popsicle there, a pop fly, and that's exactly what Northwestern wanted. Runners cannot advance, and hopefully this gives Lauren Boyd the energy she needs.
So now we have Paige Ernsters batting for the Bulldogs, and the pitch is a bit under.
The first-year catcher, good for her. I mean, a lot of first years do not play in the SEC, and it's been huge for Paige Ernsters to come in and just be able to play. Obviously, the designated player, not playing catcher today. But yeah, very prolific batter, a great freshman season so far.
And this will be another ball here from Boyd as she does not manage to hit the strike zone. So 2 balls, 0 strikes, 1 out. Northwestern up 3-0, top of the second.
It seems like Boyd just likes to kind of get a feel for the batter's box. I mean,
As the pitch here is a foul ball from Ernstez. It kind of just rolled down over to the foul area on the left-hand side, so it'll be Ernstez once again. So we've got 2 balls, and that'll be a strike. So 1 strike here. And Pierson, you're right. It seems like Lauren Boyd just kind of, she gets a feel for, for the batter, what's the best way to strike them out. So she always gets like 2 to 3 balls, but hasn't actually walked a player yet. As Boyd now with the pitch, and it appears that it'll be a little too low, so that'll be another ball. So 3 balls, 1 strike.
It's like her 4th 3-1 count, Tomas, and she has come back every time. Granted, a single last time, so hopefully a repeat of the first inning outcomes rather than the second.
Edwards still on first here for Mississippi State, the only player to get on base for the Bulldogs so far. Boyd here now with the pitch, and it gets hit to the foul area, and it actually went down into the Mississippi State dugout as they're looking for the softball. So that'll be another strike. So 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Boyd looking for another strikeout here. Northwestern still shutting out the Bulldogs so far. Only 1 Bulldog having gotten on base. That's Kylie Edwards on first right now. On this chilly Evanston afternoon. Upper 30s. A bit windy as well. Spring has arrived, though. It is officially spring. As Boyd here with the pitch, and it goes a bit too high up, and you can see as the Bulldogs are getting a little excited about that. Paige Ernstez kind of motioning towards the dugout for them to get loud, and now Ernstez on first, Edwards on second, and Boyd just wasn't able to get the strike there.
And we're going to see a mound visit for Northwestern, trying to get Lauren Boyd to feel right. And for Mississippi State, I mean, this is what they want to do, kind of claw back, a single and a walk, maybe a little bit of an announcer's jinx from us. But either way, for Northwestern, they have to keep the ball on the ground. I think the key here is you don't want fly balls, you don't want a big hit, and you don't want to give up sack fly either. And so it would be huge if they can just get a little dribbler, potentially for the double play to get out of the inning.
Absolutely. As Northwestern here is going to look to avoid Mississippi State getting further down the line. They have players on first and second, only one out for the Bulldogs. So Mississippi State with a lot of room to work with here. But Boyd still overall with a good start so far, but it's early on. Morgan Bernardini now, the left fielder who's made a couple of plays so far for the Bulldogs, now at bat.
Respectable 341 average.
As the pitch is going to be a bit too, yes, it is going to be a bit too high. So that'll be a ball. Bernardini, the Illinois native.
Indeed. Chose not to play for Northwestern. Yeah. Maybe a more reputable program like Mississippi State.
From Elkville, Illinois, downstate. As Boyd now with the pitch, and there appears to be a stealing base situation here. We have Edwards running around, and Northwestern now playing a game of cat and mouse, and they get the outs. Wow, Edwards kind of floating between second and third base there.
And what a heads-up play by Emma Ray. I mean, she's caught her right away. Obviously, Kiara Sells is trying to get a little bit extra. Was not necessary. Edwards, rather. It was just not necessary. I mean, she tried to kind of just sneak by, and that's just not going to happen. You're not going to get past Emma Ray. The sophomore, she has experience. She catches almost every day for the Cats, and what a heads-up play for her to start that rundown opportunity. And good play by Avasado to get it to third base for the easy out.
That was a great eye there from Ray that she noticed. She noticed exactly what the Bulldogs were trying to do there, and it was kind of an interesting play there as you had Edwards kind of running back and forth on the stretch between the second and third, but Northwestern ultimately able to get the out. So that's 2 outs. As Boyd now with a pitch, and it'll be another ball on Bernardini. So Bernardini still batting. So now it's 3 balls, 0 strikes.
And interesting as well, Ernestus did get to second base on that rundown, so they did get the out at third, but batter sends the second, still in scoring position.
And so now Boyd once again with the pitch, and that's perfectly in the middle there for Boyd. So it'll be a strike, the first strike on Bernardini, so we got 1 strike. And Mississippi State does have a player on second base, important to note.
Yep, Ernestus.
Yes.
And also for Bernardini, I mean, she knew she missed that pitch. That was a meatball lucky for Boyd.
And it'll be another ball. So Bernardini is sent to first base. So now Bernardini on first, Ernstus on second. 2 outs though for Mississippi State. So Boyd looking to get that third out here.
Number 4, first baseman Riley Hull.
Riley Hull, the senior infielder from Kentucky for Mississippi State, now batting.
And Riley Hull's a leader, but statistically doesn't follow. She's the worst batter in this lineup, 236 average. This is the person Northwestern wants to bat in this situation.
Absolutely. As
Boyd takes a timeout.
Boyd will take a moment to get in the right headspace. Looking to shut out the Bulldogs for the second inning in a row, which is, quite the flip script from yesterday. Boyd with a pitch, and it'll be a little too low, so that's going to be a ball.
And also interesting, Riley Hull, no home runs. She's the only player in this lineup who also does not have a home run. So not only does she have a low average, but no power either. So that's also huge for the Cats. They hopefully won't have to look at that. Hopefully I didn't just jinx that.
And a great strike there from Boyd. So that'll be 1 strike and 1 ball, 2 outs. Straight to the catcher, Emma Ray. And Northwestern really trying to take advantage here of Mississippi State's batting lineup, as you mentioned, Pierson. Riley Hull with a 236 batting average. And she hits a ball very short. And let's see if the Cats can get the play to the first base, and they do.
What a huge play by Moran Boyd coming off the pitcher's circle in stride. Little dribbler that almost was a bunt single. It was super hard ball to field, and she just barely gets it there. A wonderful play by her to get out of the inning herself, and another shutout inning for the Cats. Not 1-2-3 this time, but that's still huge. Unfortunately, Tomas, we will have to stay here once again as the commercials are still having issues. But that's fun. You know,
that's
I'm glad
absolutely
to talk
fine.
to you.
I'm glad to keep talking, Pierson. And as you mentioned, you know, Riley Hull, not super well known for her power hits, right? So she goes with a bunt there, goes short, and Moran Boyd is able to have the awareness and the quickness to get to the ball and send it over to Northwestern's first baseman, Kansas Robinson. So overall, it was a very quick play, and you can tell that this Northwestern team, they're on their toes, right? They have a bit of an edge to them today that they lacked yesterday. I mean, you think about that heads-up play with Emma Ray, right, where she noticed that Mississippi State was trying to steal a base. So just kind of these small plays here and there that add up, and it really shows that Northwestern, they're really sharp today. They're paying attention to these plays, and they're not really giving Mississippi State any slack. They're not giving them any room to work with. So that's really been key so far, as they have impressively shut out the Bulldogs now in 2 innings.
Yeah, they learned. They're learning, and that's the biggest thing for a team like Northwestern. I mean, obviously 4-0 in conference, looking to four-peat as Big Ten champions, and so far their quest for that has been good with the first 4 games. But I mean, when you're playing a team that's clearly better than you, that's how you want to establish yourself on the national scene. And something like this, it would be huge, not only for this team, but just for the program in general. Obviously, before 2022, the Cats had not made it to the College World Series since 2017, and before that, 2006. It's the year I was born, Tomas.
Yeah, I mean, and as we get started off here with the bottom of the second, and that foul ball just gets hit way out into the parking lot.
Unfortunately for someone's red pickup truck, I mean, whoever's parked there just got nailed. It looks like the truck will be okay. Didn't hit a window, maybe a little dent though.
And so we've got Riley Grudzielanek for the Northwestern Wildcats batting. We still have Raylan Chafin. Raylan Chafin.
Yes.
Thank you, Pierson. Pitching for the Bulldogs, as she now has 2 strikes. She just pitched a strike, so we have 2 strikes. Or excuse me, it was changed to a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Northwestern batting. Chafin here with the pitch, and it appears to go a bit under, but it's still within the range, so that'll be a second strike on Grudzielanek, the sophomore from Oak Creek, Wisconsin. So Riley Grudzielanek going to look to avoid a strikeout here as she
And interesting about Grudzielanek, she was the losing pitcher yesterday, but she's playing as designated player today, almost like Shohei Ohtani-esque.
Interesting decision here as Chafin gets that 3rd strike and Grudzielanek strikes out, so that's a quick out there for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I'm honestly not sure why she is playing as designated player, Tomas. I mean, you would think that the Cats would want a batter to play that. I mean, Grudzielanek, obviously a two-way player, but only batting 122 this season. That's honestly atrocious. So a 1-2-3 easy pitches, 3-pitch strikeout.
And we now have Chafin with Avery Garden. The first pitch is a ball.
Garden, the utility player, playing right field today. Interestingly, she bats left but fields right, so she's a switch fielder, along with Grace Nieto, the leadoff hitter for the Cats at second base.
So Garden, the freshman, and we'll have another ball as the pitch went too far off to Chafin's right-hand side.
You can kind of tell that Chafin just has like the information on these Cats batters in her head. She knew to attack Grudzielanek, but against Garden, she's kind of being patient, as Garden does have a home run this year, one of the few Cats to do so.
And so Chafin now with another pitch, and Garden hits the ball off into the right-hand side, and she gets on base. And it was a bit of a dropped ball there for Mississippi State from Morgan Stiles, as she wasn't really able to get a good grab on it, and that gave Garden just enough time to get to first base.
And we'll see what the scoring decision is. And yeah, that's going to be an error on Morgan Stiles. I mean, that was what was huge for Mississippi State, was errors for the Cats. This time Mississippi State with the first error. And that's big. I mean, you want to get on base there to get the top of the lineup. And so now we'll see what Grace Nieto can do. Again,
absolutely.
The other switch fielder, rather.
As you mentioned, Pierson, back to the top. It's Nieto as she swings for the ball. That'll be a strike.
That was a hit and run attempt. She tried to kind of just get a bunt, or a swinging bunt rather, but was just over.
Raylan Chafin still pitching here for the Bulldogs. Northwestern on base, on first base. And once again, Nito trying to go for that kind of running bunt. And she isn't able to get it. So that'll be a second strike here for the Cats. And it looks like Raylan Chafin knows exactly what Northwestern is trying to do here.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty clear. I mean, the coach almost basically just yelled it out, and she continues to. And I don't think she'll be bunted here. Obviously, a bunt on a third strike is an out. And so we'll see what Nito can do.
And so Chafin here with the pitch for Mississippi State. And we have Avery Garden sliding her way to second. She steals a base.
That's her third steal of the year. Got caught stealing twice, so it was only 500 on steal attempts. Gets into the green. A good steal there. I mean, that's a smart play. It was clearly a ball. They wanted her to swing. Instead, she fakes a bunt and confuses the catcher of Mississippi State. Jessie Blaine did not get a throw off. Good play for the Cats, now in scoring position.
And so now Garden at second. Grace Nito still batting. 2 strikes, 1 ball. Nito, and she hits the ball, but it just kind of goes downwards. So that will be a foul.
Yeah, she hit herself essentially, and funnily enough, Jessie Blaine, the catcher of Mississippi State, clearly did not want to make another mistake. Even though it was a clear foul ball, sprinting to it to make sure that she doesn't make any more, I guess, errors. Not really an error in scoring sense, but an error kind of mentally.
Yes. And so Raylan Chafin now batting, and this time Nito's able to get to it, and Nito manages to get on first base as Northwestern will get on the board here with Avery Garden as she slides home, and Nito tries to get back to first, but it appears that it will be an out. She tried to make her way to second because what happened was Riley Hull was not able to catch the ball. The first baseman for Mississippi State, it was thrown to her. She wasn't able to make the catch. So Avery Garden slides all the way home, and Nito, she tried to go for second, got a bit too ambitious, ends up getting out. So that's 2 outs, but Northwestern is up 4-0.
And this is going to be interesting what the scoring is. I think it's going to be a double error. So the hit to the shortstop, Kylie Edwards, that'll be an error in terms of fielding, and then not a throwing error, a catching error on the first baseman. That's Riley Hull. So double error there, not an earned run for the Cats, but a run nonetheless, and they'll take that. Of course, they would have wished that Grace Nito didn't run. That was kind of a bad choice by her. She should have stayed at first. But either way, they'll be happy to see that Avery Garden got home, and good heads-up base running there.
And so Kelsey Nader now batting for the Cats. 1 strike, 0 balls, as Chafin here with the pitch, and that'll be a ball. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Nader, the junior out of Canton, Michigan.
And actually, they just re-scored that, so it's going to be a hit for Nito, but then it's going to be an error on the run.
And so Chafin, who's given up 4 runs, will pitch, and it appears to be another ball. Kelsey Nader batting here with 2 balls, 1 strike. Nobody on base for the Cats, but they're up 4-0.
Yeah, there's top 3 batters, 3 of the 4 Cats players with above 300 batting average. Looks good today, hit already, and started kind of that rally that ended up being a 3-run first inning.
And there are 2 outs here. And that will be a 3rd ball, so 3 balls, 1 strike. Kelsey Nader biding her time. This wind here is a bit chilly.
Indeed, it is, Tomas. We're definitely cold, and I think so is Mississippi State, clearly looking very off today.
Yeah, especially with this early start, as Chafin's pitch will be a strike. So now we have, something's got to happen here. We have 2 strikes, 3 balls, 2 outs.
Great framing there from the catcher, Jessie Blaine. That probably was a ball, but it convinced the umpire just enough.
So now we've got the pitch, and it's a ball. Kelsey Nader advancing to first base.
That's smart. I mean, she does a check swing just in case. Good discipline to not go all the way through. And the Cats get another base runner, basically replacing what Grace Nieto would have been. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Kelsey Nader steal. 6 for 8 this year on steals, and she looks like she's ready to run. The first base coach told her something.
And Kaylee Avasado now pitching here for the Northwestern Wildcats. Avasado and the pitch.
Batting, rather.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Batting. Raylan Chafin is pitching for the Mississippi State Bulldogs, and she just pitched a ball, so it'll be 1 ball, 0 strikes. Avasado here batting for the Cats. Chafin gonna wind up here in the pitcher circle, and it'll be another ball here, 2 balls.
And yeah, Chafin looks off. We were talking how prolific she is this season. Obviously in the first game dominating, the second one just not really doing the same. The Cats have her number so far.
And so we'll have another pitch here from Chafin. This Mississippi State team so successful yesterday. 1 strike though here. They got a strike from Chafin. So 2 balls, 1 strike. Avasado. We have Nader on first for the Cats.
And 4-0 Cats in the second. That's what you
Yeah.
like to hear.
I mean, really a fantastic start here for Northwestern. As Avasado's going to hit it way out, and it's missed by the Bulldogs, so Avasado will hit a double as Nader makes her way to third, and once again, the Wildcats find a way to keep going.
Yeah, what a hit there. Kaylee Avasado basically avenging what she did yesterday. Obviously not what you want to see there, 4 errors, but that double is going to make everyone forget about that. The first year, batting really well this season, 377. That's second on the team besides Grace Nieto, rather. And yeah, I mean, that's big for the Cats, as it looks like there might be a pitching change for Mississippi State.
Yeah, it looks like Mississippi State might be looking into a switch here, as this has not been working for them so far. I mean, and the thing is, they were so close. They were 1 strike away from ending this inning, and they just weren't able to get the job done. And now all of a sudden Northwestern has a player on second, a player on third, and on top of it, a fresh strike count. So the Wildcats, up 4-0 at home. It's opening weekend. They're getting hyped up, over there in the dugout. You can really feel the momentum on the Wildcat side right now.
And you can see some of the fans doing the same thing as well. I mean, I don't know if over the broadcast you can hear the song they're playing, but it's the song they play for football and basketball to hype people up. And the fans are copying kind of the dances that the bench is doing, and that just shows how important the community is for this team as well. Of course, they're trying to get funding for what would be called the Kip and Sarah Kirkpatrick Softball Stadium to replace this field that we're sitting in right now. I mean, it is clear for the listeners who don't know, Tomas and I are basically just sitting outside in the wind and cold on a plastic table. It's not what you want to see for media members. Not to toot my own horn or not to toot our own horn, but that funding would be huge for the team to just get better facilities, and this is a great example.
Fantastic, as Kansas Robinson is now batting for Northwestern, and Chafin manages to pitch a strike. So it's 1 strike here. Robinson, the junior, for Northwestern. And Robinson, she has fellow teammates on second and third, and she hits the ball out to the right-hand side of the field, and unfortunately, that's going to get caught. So that's the end of the second inning. Mississippi State able to avoid giving up any more runs. So we finish out the second 4-0 Northwestern.
Yeah, that's huge, Tomas. I mean, I don't have to say it again. We're not going to go to commercial. It's going to be the last time I say that from now on. For our lovely listeners, just expect for us to continue talking. Hopefully, by the second game of this doubleheader, we can have that figured out. Although, of course, I think would prefer to hear Tomas and I than some commercials. Of course, we do thank our sponsors, and we thank everyone who helps WNUR be a thing. But yeah, for the Cats, this is just so huge, and you can see the whole team being energized by it. I mean, this is the happiest I've seen them in I guess since yesterday. But in general, I mean, this team came off 4 wins in the kind of this first Big Ten play, and coming into a really tough opponent. To be up is really just big, even if this doesn't end up being the final outcome. Just kind of this feeling, hopefully they can bottle it up and use that to aid their momentum in the Big Ten and beyond.
No, absolutely, and whenever you get an opportunity to play against top-tier opposition like this, it's really important to compete. And Northwestern right now isn't just competing, but they're winning 4-0, and that's not to say, Northwestern is 3-time Big Ten champions in a row, perennial NCAA tournament appearances, right? Northwestern is, by all means, a good softball program, right? But when you talk about finding your way into that elite tier, right, nationally, especially with programs, like Mississippi State, like Duke, right? You have to be able to come up with these kinds of results. And Northwestern, for the most part, this season at least, sitting at 13-10, they were able to take down number 8 Duke. But other than that, it's been really rough in non-conference for the Cats. So because they're 4-0 in conference play, and they are 9-10 in non-conference play. So it is really important to get a win like this. And also, when you're playing 3 games in a row against Mississippi State, you cannot drop all 3.
You cannot drop all 3. That's true. Showing bunt here is Morgan Stiles.
So Stiles batting for Mississippi State. Lauren Boyd in the pitcher's circle.
And interestingly, Tomas, I don't think one player from this Mississippi State lineup is from Mississippi.
That is a fantastic point. Mississippi State has plenty of players from Alabama.
Alabama, Texas. I mean, we talked about this before, but I mean, a lot of just great Southern players. And obviously the SEC is the SEC. You're just going to get a bunch of Southeastern players. But at the same time, you'd expect a state school like Mississippi State to have them, although granted, they're probably on the bench.
And here's something to note. On Mississippi State's roster, there's not one player with a hometown in Mississippi.
Well, there you go.
As Boyd sends it over to Robinson, and it is an out as Morgan Stiles bunted the ball. It was a short hit. Boyd with the awareness to get the ball and sends it over to Robinson quickly, and it's a good play, a simple play really, for Northwestern as they get a quick out here in the 3rd.
And that's really interesting. Morgan Stiles with 3 home runs on the season. Obviously not too much, but still has power, and for her to just be bunting is really interesting strategy for Mississippi State. Potentially maybe saving some energy for the next one, not sure.
And so Sierra Sacco, the senior, batting for Mississippi State, and Boyd sends it over a little too low with that pitch, so it'll be a ball. And yeah, Sacco, the senior from Marrero, Louisiana, and Mississippi State, they have plenty of players from Louisiana, Texas.
Louisiana, Texas, Alabama, a few Georgias.
Even Illinois.
That's true. But yeah, that is really interesting. And I think that kind of is a testament also kind of the new world of college athletics we're living in. I mean, obviously the big NIL things that we think of are basketball and football, but I mean, there's money in the diamond sports as well and many other sports, obviously. And so there's just a lot of recruiting. I mean, even for a state school like Mississippi State, I mean, not necessarily need Mississippians anymore.
And Boyd with a strike, and Sacco is able to get the hit, and she does not manage to get over to first. Robinson getting the ball first, so it'll be a second out for Northwestern, and all of a sudden the Cats, they have 2 outs. Mississippi State has not gone on base this inning, and Northwestern is up 4-0, and it's been a dream start for this Wildcat squad.
Yeah, I mean, a really kind of a worrying second inning. 2 base runners, but they are 3 base runners rather, but they were able to get out of it, and now hoping to get another 1, 2, 3 inning, and that'd be a dream start for Lauren Boyd.
Absolutely, and I mean, Mississippi State, they've kind of fallen flat so far today. They don't have the same energy they did yesterday, as Boyd now with the pitch going up against Nadia Barbary, the junior from Mississippi State. That'll be a ball.
And that was such a close pitch to Tomas. I mean, I'd say if we had like the Major League system, that might be like inches away.
It was a very close pitch, but it does end up being a ball here for Boyd as she sends in another pitch, and it'll be a little too low. So we've got 2 balls, 0 strikes here on Nadia Barbary.
Yeah, Barbary just getting out of the way of that one. Almost hit her. But again, I mean, Boyd continues to like this kind of like couple ball and then kind of get back into the at-bat. And if that's the strategy, it has been working so far.
And so Boyd now with the pitch, and Barbary is going to send it over to the foul zone. So it'll be a foul ball, 1 strike.
The other thing I've liked from the Cats is kind of the hustle, not only when the ball is in play, but when the ball is not. I mean, these foul balls, they're still sprinting for them, even when it's clearly they're not gonna be able to make the play, and I like that. I mean, I don't care if it's a foul ball. I mean, you should be just showing effort in every way you can, and I think that has been the difference between this Northwestern team and Mississippi State so far. A Mississippi State team that has looked quite lethargic.
Absolutely, Northwestern is showing a lot of fight. They're showing a lot of grit, and especially after getting pummeled yesterday, 14-0, they've recovered, and they're showing that they can bounce back from it, which is so important for a team. As Boyd here gets a strike, a good pitch here from Boyd straight down the middle.
3-1 now.
Once again, 3-1 here, 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Northwestern pitching here, Lauren Boyd, top of the 3rd. The Cats are up 4-0 against the Mississippi State Bulldogs. And it's a fantastic catch there for the Wildcats as Barbary sent it flying over to the left-hand side, and it was no problem there for Northwestern's right fielder, I believe?
No, third baseman.
Third baseman.
Yeah, Bridget Donahue, just a beautiful play. Didn't even have to move right into her glove. Just a little bit of a jump step, kind of Jeter-esque and beautiful catch for Donahue, and that's going to be huge for the Cats as she will come up this inning. As a matter of fact, she'll be coming up right now, Tomas. But either way, that's just an example. I mean, you have 3 straight innings of shutout play. That is the best way you can respond to being shut out in the previous game. You can see the energy from the fans. Everyone's cheering super loud in here. Probably around 300 people at the stadium right now. And interestingly, I don't know if there's a purpose to this, but everyone's kind of just in this main bowl area. Not many people looking to catch home runs in that right field stand area. But either way, I mean, it's just really good to see a lot of people out here in the cold supporting the Cats, and also some Mississippi State fans as well coming out to support that team.
Yeah, here on opening weekend. And that catch by Donahue, it may have seemed deceptively simple, but that ball was traveling quickly, right? That was not an easy catch. She kind of turned her body, right, to kind of, she almost did like a behind, like she caught the ball from behind with her hand.
Yeah, and
so it was quite impressive.
Yeah, that is what we like to call a web gem. And that's the type of play that we kind of talked about this earlier, but Northwestern, for their new softball stadium, is $18.2 million of a $20 million fundraising goal. I mean, they're almost right there, and as the team continues to rally and continues to look good in the Big Ten and hopefully can start to look good in non-con play, that will definitely help kind of potential donors decide whether or not they want to help out this team. I mean, come on, if I had that money, I would be helping out Northwestern softball.
Absolutely. I mean, this is a program that deserves it. They've shown that they can win. I mean, you know, you talk about Northwestern teams, you know, in the Big Ten. Usually Northwestern really struggles in the Big Ten, and this is a program that has dominated the Big Ten. So it's been really impressive stuff from this softball team, and I think they absolutely deserve that kind of support as we are now in the bottom of the third, and it's a bunt. But it appears that it went into the foul area.
And I think some of the strategy comes in with the weather, Tomas, in which like it's hard to continue to field and swing that bat when your hand and your body is so cold.
Absolutely.
Even with all that gear on, it can't feel good. I mean, you can't really layer. You can layer a little bit, but you can't layer a lot. And I mean, that's an example where we've seen a few players now on both teams just kind of trying to bunt, just use their legs. And I think that's definitely something where the weather comes into play.
Absolutely. I mean, it's difficult as Bridget Donahue, who just made that play over at third base, now batting for Northwestern, 1 strike, going up against Raylan Chafin, and Chafin now throws a ball, so we have 1 ball, 1 strike. Donahue, the junior from Phoenix, Arizona, so she did not grow up with this cold weather, but she goes to school at Northwestern. And Donahue now getting ready for the next pitch, and it's going to go a bit far, no, but not far enough to the left as it'll be a 2nd strike, so 2 strikes, 1 ball.
Yeah, that's a good pitch there from Chafin. Just froze Donnie up. I mean, that's what a pitcher like Chafin's caliber can do to you.
And Donahue now looking to avoid a strikeout.
Good take there. That was so enticing to try to swing there. There's a little bit of like a floater, a slow ball pitch. But good discipline from Donnie. And also to note, Tomas, a construction worker just grabbed that ball that hit, I don't know if it was his truck or another truck, but he was there and he was motioning to the fans, kind of like, yes, I got it. So that's kind of cool.
Hopefully no damage there. And Donahue now running toward first base, and she's unable to get there, but she didn't make any contact with the ball.
Yeah, that's just another case where it's a strikeout, a dropped ball by the catcher, Jessie Blaine. This time, of course, she gets it to first base with plenty of time. That will be recorded as a strikeout, unfortunately, for Northwestern. But that's okay, because we have Izzy Kania coming up, obviously the sophomore from Oakland, Illinois, who had that huge bases-clearing triple in the first.
3 RBI so far today for Kania, as Kania now is going to bunt it over, but it goes into the foul area. That'll be a foul ball, so 1 strike here on Kania.
And also interesting, for the pitcher from Mississippi State, Raylan Chafin is still in the game. We saw Lexi Sosa, the senior pitcher, in the bullpen, but she hasn't come in. She's not even warming up anymore, so I don't know if that means that she's ready. But it also could mean that Chafin could stay in this game. I mean, obviously, complete game yesterday, 11 complete games out of her 14 starts. I mean, that's just amazing for her.
And so Chafin now with the pitch, and once again, Kania will get contact on the ball, but it just goes backward and becomes another foul ball. It'll be another strike, so 2 strikes now on Kania.
Kanea's not afraid. I mean, it was a 2-strike count, a pitcher's count when she got that triple, and so, I mean, she's not afraid to do it again, hopefully.
And so Raylan Chafin continuing, as you mentioned, Pierson, something that she's used to doing for this Bulldogs team, and that will be a ball this time. So Kania the sophomore, will stay batting here for the Cats. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Northwestern up 4-0, bottom of the 3rd. Raylan Chafin here, pitching for the Mississippi State Bulldogs. And now Isabel Kania at bat, and that will indeed be a strikeout as she swung for the ball and missed.
Yeah, Izzy Kania there. I mean, a good attempt there. Raylan Chafin got the best of her. A really, really good pitching performance there in that one. And that's kind of the Raylan Chafin we're used to seeing. That's the Chafin we saw yesterday. And the one that the Cats hopefully will want to not see as much as possible.
And now Emma Ray, the sophomore catcher, batting.
Yeah. Obviously, Ray's the one who had that great play, getting the runner out on that rundown as a catcher. I mean, that's so important. You kind of analyze the field. And I think that's also, she's probably the one who's looked at the most tape for Chafin as well. I mean, as a catcher, you have to look, and as an important batter on this team, you have to look at a ton of tape for pitchers and having a better understanding of the game.
Emma Ray batting .254 on the season. 1 strike from Chafin. Now Chafin pitching again, and that will be a ball. It was out of the strike zone. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Emma Ray still at bat here. Raylan Chafin still in the pitcher's circle for the Bulldogs.
And still 4-0 in the 3rd for the Cats.
Absolutely, bottom of the 3rd. Got a nice breeze here. And the pitch from Chafin will be a ball once again. So that's 2 balls. The Cats don't have anyone on base. Have not gotten anyone on base so far this inning. And that goes for both teams, actually. This 3rd inning so far has not seen a player get on base. So now Emma Ray, and she saw that ball was going a bit under, so she was, you can see she was motioning a bit to bat there, but ultimately decided against it smartly, so that would be 3 balls.
And 1 strike.
Indeed. 2 outs here for the Cats. So, and that ball is hit by Ray and goes way behind the stands, out of the ballpark into the parking lot.
And I think that one did impact a windshield, Tomas.
Unfortunately, that is going to be some very bad news for whoever owns that car.
2 cars hit so far. We can have a little car hit counter throughout the day today.
2 hit cars, 0 Mississippi State runs. Emma Ray hits the ball to the right-hand side of the field, and she's unable to get to the first base quickly enough. So that will be a 3rd out now for the Cats. So that's the end of the 3rd inning. Northwestern up 4-0 still.
And yeah, for Northwestern here, I believe Lauren Boyd will stay in the game. She was just continuing to warm up in the bullpen, just keep herself not only warm physically, but just warm literally. I also think for Mississippi State, it'll be interesting to see if they keep Raylan Chafin in this game. Obviously, like I said before, she has complete games, but at the same time, being down in this game, it might be better off to save her. One of the most interesting things about softball compared to baseball, at least in college, is that there's really kind of a lot of fluidity in terms of the pitchers. I mean, yeah, you have starting pitchers, but a player like Raylan Chafin, yes, she has 14 starts, but she has 21 appearances, which means she comes out of the bullpen a lot as well, and some of her wins are from the bullpen as well. And so I think that's going to be an interesting point as well. It's like you might see some of these players who pitched yesterday coming back in. Maybe see Emma Blia, or honestly, potentially even seeing Riley Gruzilinek, the pitcher from yesterday who gave all those runs, is playing as a designated player today. I think the reason why she's in the game batting is so then she's available to pitch and stay warm. So it'll be interesting to see.
Absolutely, and when you talk about a doubleheader, right, the strategy for a doubleheader is different. You have to approach it a little differently than you would otherwise. Because, as you mentioned, Pierson, you might want to save Chafin for later on in the day. I mean, this is going to be a long day. It's 1:09 p.m. right now, so they've been playing for an hour and almost 10 minutes. There's still 4 innings to go, barring any kind of mercy rules in this game. And then you have to go right back at it again at 3 p.m. Central for another game.
And yeah, I mean, that's not only a fast turnaround, but it almost is too slow even. I mean, this game could easily be done. I mean, they're playing pretty quickly. This game could be done in an hour 45, and then you have to wait another hour to get back out there. I mean, yes, of course, you'd want to warm up, but I feel like these players just want to stay on the field and keep playing.
Absolutely. So it becomes an endurance test,
Yes.
right? I mean, it really becomes a marathon for both of these teams. How long can you keep it up as we now start out the fourth inning? Jesse Blaine batting for Mississippi State, and Lauren Boyd still going at it for the Cats as she pitches a strike. So that'll be one strike to start us off here. And now Lauren Boyd with the pitch, and once again, that'll be another strike. Two back-to-back strikes for Boyd.
And yeah, Jesse Blaine, like we talked about before, one of the many, many batters for this Mississippi State team, above 300, 347 on the year.
And now Blaine once again with a strike, and that's 3 in a row. Strikeout for Boyd. What a way to start that fourth inning.
Yeah, just what a great pitch, trailing away. A little bit of a drop ball, and no contact could be made from the bat of Jesse Blaine. A swing and a miss. I mean, that's the type of whiff you want to see. Strike one, strike two, strike three, and you're out. And so that's what you want to keep seeing from Lauren Boyd.
Absolutely. So that's a 3 and out to start off the fourth inning from Mississippi State. Kylie Edwards now batting for the Bulldogs, hailing from the SEC. Not used to this chilly weather out here. It's about 35 degrees in Evanston as Edwards hits the ball off into the foul area. So that'll be one strike here on Edwards. Boyd still pitching.
And yeah, Kylie Edwards, obviously the one hit on the day for Mississippi State. I mean, that second inning looked like so many base runners. They were a result of some just lucky play for Mississippi State, honestly. And so, I mean, Kylie Edwards is the only really person on this Mississippi State team who has looked impressive so far, and we'll see if she can repeat it. Hopefully not.
The Bulldogs, they've really struggled to get on base so far today, as Boyd is going to pitch another strike, and we've got 5 strikes in a row now for the Cats starting out this fourth inning. And yeah, Mississippi State, they've seemed sluggish to start off. Edwards, as you mentioned, the only player able to get a hit to go on base so far. So Boyd now winds up, and the pitch is going to be a bit too far off to her left-hand side, so that'll be a ball.
An interesting thing, Tomas, in this game, obviously Northwestern playing a non-conference game against Mississippi State. Literally every single other Big Ten team is playing each other either yesterday or today, and that's kind of interesting because playing non-con after starting conference play is kind of unique.
It is, absolutely, as Boyd gets the strikeout. Edwards with a swing and a miss, and a fantastic start here to the fourth inning. 2 strikeouts in a row. Back-to-back jacks for Lauren Boyd.
Number 9.
Yeah, that is really big for Lauren Boyd. I mean, 2 strikeouts in a row, looking to strike out the side here against Kiara Sells, rather.
And so now Kiara Sells batting for the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Boyd with the pitch, and Sells sends it over to the left-hand side, but it'll be a foul ball, so that's a strike. And Pierson, you mentioned that conference, or non-conference, I should say, scheduling, and I think that's really, pointing toward the fact that Northwestern is trying to, Northwestern has been largely successful in the Big Ten. I think that the Wildcats are now trying to find success nationally, and the way that they're going to do that is by facing against top-tier opposition from the SEC.
That is very true, Tomas. That is very true. And for Northwestern as well, 1-1 count here for Lauren Boyd. I think that the other interesting thing is kind of the role that the weather plays for a team like Northwestern. When you have the lake effect, when it's so cold, when you want to play at home, that's not only a home field advantage, but it could also hurt you as well. And so you just have to be careful, adapting, especially with these new players in the program. How do they stay warm? What are the things that Northwestern practices to keep that home field advantage and prevent these players from other states from kind of literally freezing out? Absolutely,
as Boyd pitches another ball here, so we have 2 balls, 1 strike. Kiara Sells, one of the Sells on this Mississippi State squad, batting for the Bulldogs. Boyd with a pitch, and Sells is going to send that way over. Sells sent that on top of Walsh Ryan Arena. That's impressive.
That is insane. A home run over the Welsh. What a swing by Kiara Sells. That will be her 7th home run of the year, tying her batting mate Kylie Edwards at the top of Mississippi State's home run count. I mean, that's huge. And, I mean, luckily, Northwestern has them padding. I think they're not used to having this against such a good opponent. They still have a 3-run lead. It's only 4-1. They should just keep doing what she's doing. Don't let Lauren Boyd kind of get frazzled. Stay behind her and keep supporting.
But yeah, Kiara Sells, the junior, batting .321 on the season. And, I mean, no one's getting that ball back. That ball is gone. It is quite literally on top of the Welsh, which is kind of insane, as Paige Ernstes now batting for Mississippi State. Boyd pitching a ball to start off here. 2 outs. Important to note, only 1 more out left here for the Cats. Boyd in the pitcher circle. 0 strikes, 1 ball. Going up against Paige Ernstes. Ernstes, the designated player for Mississippi State. And Boyd pitches a strike. So it'll be a strike and a base, and Boyd doesn't seem to be too rattled by that homer.
And that's what you want to see from a veteran pitcher like Boyd. Obviously, she's used to seeing this type of stuff. Obviously, as a senior, she's a leader on this team, and she has to set the tone for new players like the first-year pitcher Emma Blea behind her. And I think that just kind of staying controlled after kind of an unfortunate event is kind of key for the Cats. I mean, if you want to be a team that can compete against these big teams, you have to be able to be okay with it. You're not going to get a shutout or a no-hitter or a complete game every time, but you can at least limit the damage, and I think that's what would be big here, especially against such a prolific hitter like Paige Ernstes, who's having an awesome freshman year, batting .429.
Absolutely. I mean, it's been really impressive here. And Ernstes, it's interesting you mentioned, so she's batting .429 on the season, 19 games played, only 3 games started, so this is her 4th start on the year as Ernstes hits it over into the outfield, and that'll be a single as she makes her way to the first base, and she's hyping up her team over there in the Mississippi State dugout. And Mississippi State doing what they haven't been able to do much this afternoon, which is getting on base.
This is true. And what's also interesting, Tomas, obviously you mentioned the records before the game. Mississippi State 26-5, Northwestern 13-10. Mississippi State has almost played 10 more games this season than the Wildcats, which kind of is also testament to kind of the Wildcats kind of necessitated late start due to the weather, due to the coldness. They can't really play at home until it gets warm enough. And so I think that will be interesting as we see a mound visit for the Cats. I believe that Lauren Boyd will stay in this game, although it is possible that they do take her out. They have 2 pitchers warming up in the bullpen. That'll be that first year I mentioned, Emma Blea, and as well as a sophomore, Renee Cunningham. And Cunningham with also kind of a 3-range ERA. Blea, unfortunately, so far this season, a 7.44 ERA, I believe. You can cross-check me on that, Tomas. But I mean, we'll see who comes in. Both right-handed pitchers, so it's really almost, do you want kind of this kind of like fiery power from the first-year Blea, or do you kind of want the controlled kind of tempo from Cunningham? So it'll be interesting to see. I think if she gets out of this inning, in the 5th, we'll very likely see one of those 2 pitchers coming into the game.
Yeah, Blea has a 7.88 ERA.
Okay, so even worse than I thought.
So yeah.
Interesting though, Tomas. I actually had class with Emma Blea, and she was a part of my final project for Intro to Sports Communication.
Oh well, there you go. Wasn't Nick Martinelli?
He was also in that class. That is correct. There's
yes.
a ton of people in that class from a variety of sports at Northwestern. It was awesome to be there.
Bernardini now at bat for Mississippi State, and Boyd gets the strike to start out here. So we got 1 strike and 1 ball here. Boyd, I mean, overall, considering the opposition that the Cats are going up against, really impressive performance so far here from the pitcher. As Boyd now once again with a pitch, and that will be a ball. So it'll be a ball and a strike here. 2 outs. Morgan Bernardini, the 3rd baseman for this Mississippi State team.
And interestingly, for Lauren Boyd, she kind of, she started with balls and then strikes kind of at the start. Now she's kind of shifting to challenging at the start and then maybe pitching a bad pitch on purpose to get them to swing. And that worked for the first 2 strikeouts, but now with more disciplined batters coming up, it'll be interesting if that will continue to work, and she'll shift back to kind of the adjusting and just pitching balls first and then trying to attack.
And Boyd now pitching a 2nd ball, so we've got 2 balls, 1 strike. The Cats looking for 1 more out. 1 more out to end this top of the 4th. Lauren Boyd now winding up the pitch, and that will be a ball. It kind of went off too far to her left-hand side. This crowd here trying to cheer on a bit. And yeah, Pierson, you mentioned, Northwestern playing fewer games than Mississippi State by a sizable amount. And yeah, I mean, it's definitely a factor. Being, in Evanston, Illinois, you just can't start that early in the year.
Yeah, and also kind of cohesiveness-wise, I mean, not being able to play at home is really hurtful, honestly. I mean, you want to be able to play in your home fans. Like we mentioned how great this community is. And yes, they can travel, and they do travel well for a school like Northwestern, a much smaller student body. But at the same time, it's like that puts you automatically at a disadvantage when you're having to travel so much and be on planes and buses so much. And so it's nice to see that they're finally kind of getting this really long stretch of home games that will be really important for their season.
Absolutely, and even starting now on, it's opening weekend, March 22nd, and it's 35 degrees and windy, but you just got to start, as Bernardini got a foul ball earlier, so it's 2 strikes, 3 balls. The pitch here, Bernardini hits it, and Northwestern able to get it over to Kansas Robinson. And it is indeed going to be 3 outs, and that's going to do it for Mississippi State in the top of the 4th.
And yeah, that's a great play from Grace Nito, just getting the ball there, slotting it to the first baseman, Kansas Robinson, and that's the type of play you want to see from Northwestern. I mean, yesterday, like we mentioned, kind of their miscues defensively, and I would say that is one of the keys of the game today, is just being able to stay solid behind Lauren Boyd, and they have been able to do so far. And I think that will be also important against a pitcher. If Emma Blea is the one who comes in, she's definitely a ground ball contact type pitcher, and so you can't be messing up with her pitching because she wants to get contact rather than forcing whiffs.
Absolutely. So we'll see what the Cats do here, as we have now reached the halfway point in the game, Pierson. So I think it's time for me to relinquish play-by-play duties over to you, and I'll take over color for the rest of the game. I can't imagine that we'll have mercy rules looking at how this game is going, so we'll probably go all 7 innings.
I agree. I mean, Tomas, if you want to, you can do the whole game, and we can just switch off.
For the second game. Yes, actually, I like that idea.
Okay, let's do that.
Because then we kind of keep the same dynamic going for one game, take a break, and then come back for the second. Because to all of our listeners out there, all those Northwestern softball fans listening in, you're stuck with us for the rest of the day, because we've got the rest of this game, and then we have another one at 3 p.m. It's a doubleheader.
And yeah, I mean, really quickly pausing for station identification. Obviously, we're on 89.3 FM.
Absolutely.
WNUR Sports. Obviously, we're Northwestern's home for Northwestern Athletics, and I think that what is interesting is when you don't have commercials, you get to hear kind of this talk that happens behind the scenes, and I think this is one of the things, like, you don't usually hear this, so I relish the fact that you're getting to hear Tomas and I just talk in between innings. It appears that I believe we'll be seeing a new pitcher here for Mississippi State.
Yes, we are seeing a new pitcher here. It's going to be Lexi Sosa, number 7 here for the Bulldogs. So they did switch it up here in the pitcher circle. It will no longer be Raylan Schaefer.
Defensive changes for the Bulldogs. Now pitching, number
and I think that's who we saw. I mentioned earlier I saw Sosa in the bullpen.
And so Lexi Sosa, the senior, here.
Leading off the bottom of the 4th inning for the Wildcats, number 11.
Riley Grzylanek will start off here for Northwestern, bottom of the 4th. So Grzylanek and Sosa, Mississippi State looking for a switch here, as they're going to try to turn this game around in the second half. And the pitch here from Sosa is good. That's going to be a strike. 2 strikes now. 2 strikes. So Sosa getting off on the right foot here for the Bulldogs.
And yeah, for Northwestern, they just should look to attack. I mean, Lexi Sosa is a good pitcher and the one who's a veteran as a senior. But at the same time, I mean, she had to sit down for a long time. She was in the bullpen, I think, in the 2nd inning. And it's now already at the bottom of the 4th. So she sat down for 2 innings, not warming up really. And so I think what will be interesting there is did she stay warm, literally? But also kind of just like in terms of the actual pitching, is she still ready to go?
And Sosa with 9 appearances on the season so far, and Sosa kind of trying to signaling towards Grzylanek, saying that she swung, but it was not a swing, so that will be a ball. So 1 ball, 2 strikes here.
Yeah, Mississippi State is not afraid to taunt. I mean, their pitchers and their batters taunting. I mean, I guess that's a part of the game, right? And so you can't cry. You got to just continue going.
And Grzylanek is going to send a foul ball over to the parking lot once again. And Pierson, did that hit a car?
That did indeed hit a Toyota Prius.
That's a 3rd hit. I mean, these cars are just absolutely getting battered out there in the parking lot.
Hey, the car counts up to 3, only 1 run for Mississippi State.
Yeah. We'll see who wins here, as Gredzielanek still batting here for the Cats, and it's a great pitch there from Sosa. So that'll be 3 strikes, and it's an out.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a beautiful pitch from Sosa. A nice little kind of a slurve almost. A lot of motion there, but ended up right down the middle. Nothing you can do as a batter when that happens. You just get frozen up.
And Sosa with an ERA of 3.45. She's 3-0 so far in the season. 9 appearances, 3 games started. So she doesn't have a ton of time on the diamond so far here, in the pitcher circle, I should say, for the Bulldogs. But so far, quite impressive here as she pitches a strike on Avery Garden. So 1 strike, 1 out, 0 balls.
Indeed. I mean, Lexi Sosa, like I mentioned, is a leader on this team regardless. She kind of is the person in the bullpen who's talking to the younger women. And
as Avery Garden with a hit, and she tries to make her way to first, but unfortunately for Northwestern, Riley Hull was able to get the ball before then. So that's 2 quick outs here on the Cats in the bottom of the 4th.
Indeed. And interestingly, for Lexi Sosa, she was playing at UCLA until her senior season. She's had 2 years so far at Mississippi State as a graduate student. So she's definitely playing the role more as a leader, especially considering this is her last year of eligibility. And kind of just using her experience from the Bruins. Now, of course, a Big Ten opponent for the Cats. And just kind of leveraging it to help Mississippi State's program in general.
Grace Nito now at bat for the Wildcats as Lexi Sosa throws a ball. So we've got 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. A little concerning here for the Cats early on in the bottom of the 4th. And that'll be a strike. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Northwestern still up 4-1. Bottom of the 4th, plenty of time to go in this ball game. Sosa now with the pitch here, and that will be a strike. Or no, it's a ball. So
yeah,
2 balls and 1 strike.
That was a confusing call. The ump looked like he was going to motion for a strike, opted against it. That's kind of interesting. I mean, I think kind of motioning, kind of like emotions from umpires. We kind of talked about this before in a bunch of the shows on WNUR, but like, how do you stay calm and stay kind of stern to make sure that your credibility as an umpire, as a referee in college athletics is kind of stayed?
Absolutely, and this will be another strike here, so it is indeed 2 strikes, 2 balls, 2 outs here for the Cats, bottom of the 4th. Grace Nito, it's the top of the lineup, of the batting lineup here for the Cats. Nito. And this time, Nito's going to hit it way out. It's a foul ball, not to the parking lot this time. It's on the left-hand side, over in the direction of Anderson Hall and Walsh Ryan Arena.
And yeah, for Grace Nito, obviously her sophomore season, she was an all-district pick. And this season, obviously shifting kind of, now that she's an upperclassman, a senior, obviously, it's kind of like a leader versus leader on the batting circle and in the batting box.
Grace Nito with the hit, and she manages to make her way to first base due to the fact that Morgan Stiles was just simply unable to come up with the ball, and it was a little lackluster there from Stiles. She just kind of dropped the ball, and there wasn't really a sense of urgency there as Nito was able to get to first. And I don't know if it's the cold, I don't know if it's, maybe it's too early of a start playing this team for the 2nd time in a row, but Mississippi State just sluggish so far.
Yeah, and Morgan Stiles, that's her 2nd error, definitely not good for her, kind of like the Avocado of today's game.
And so now Sosa with the pitch. Kelsey Nader batting for the Cats. That'll be a strike. So 1 strike, 2 outs. The Cats with a player on first base. Kelsey Nader up against Lexi Sosa. Sosa, the pitch, and that will be that'll be a ball. So we have a ball and a strike. Nader on the season, batting .338, the junior center fielder out of Canton, Michigan. Sosa, and that is going to be a ball. It was far out there to the right-hand side of home plate. And, I mean, really, this does become such an endurance test. In the wind, in the cold. It's only the 4th inning of the first game. How will these 2 teams fare as play continues? Kelsey Nader hitting it, and it'll be a foul ball to the left-hand side here of the diamond.
And Tomas, I'd say it's an endurance test for us as well. I mean, sitting outside here in the wind as well. I mean, we're really experiencing the elements that the players are feeling as well, and I think that's a good thing, you know. I mean, it's not often as media members that we get to kind of feel the same way. Of course, I wish I was a little warmer, but either way, it's definitely a big impact to everyone in the stadium.
Absolutely, as Kelsey Nader with a good hit to the left side of the field, and she will make her way to first base. So now the Cats on first and second.
And yeah, Kylie Edwards, a good play there, a nice dive. Got to the ball, but kind of in similar fashion to Avasado in the first, or to the second rather, to no avail. And so it will be a single, no error there. And first and second, and this is huge for Kaylee Avasado, obviously a double earlier in the game.
Absolutely, so Kaylee Avasado now batting for the Cats. Up against Lexi Sosa here. Sosa winding up in the pitcher's circle, and Avasado with a hit. We'll see if the Cats can make their way, and Kelsey Nader unable to slide to second quickly enough, so that'll be a third out, and that's the end of the fourth.
And yeah, so I mean, we get to continue talking. Usually this is the time we would switch to commercial break. But yeah, I mean, going into this fifth inning, 3 innings left. There will be no mercy rule here, theoretically, as long as Mississippi State doesn't go on like a huge tear in the top of the fifth. Hopefully I didn't just jinx that. But for the Wildcats, it will be interesting to see, and it will be Lauren Boyd once again. So she's going to pitch her fifth inning, going to be qualified for the win. Blair's still warming up in the bullpen, so clearly Northwestern's kind of keeping their options open depending on how Boyd pitches against this bottom of the order. I wonder if it'll be maybe 1 batter, 2 batters, Tomas. Either way, though, Lauren Boyd will be staying in the game for the meantime.
Yeah, absolutely, and Pierson, you were mentioning how this is an endurance test for us, and you know, sitting here at the plastic table, I'm not complaining. I'm having a great time out here at Drysdale Field, but it's chilly. You know, you got the wind. You know, we were able to get this broadcast setup done, you know, fairly quickly, I would say, and out here in the elements, you know, we're 4 innings in. We got the rest of this game. Then there's a bit of a break, and then another game, and really, you know, after a winter where as a broadcaster, you know, at WNUR Sports, you get so accustomed, I feel like, to Welsh Ryan Arena.
Yeah, to just being inside, being happy.
Being inside, protected from the elements, right, you know, at the Welsh, and you just get so used to that setting. And now in the spring, we've got spring sports, and those settings are changing, and unfortunately the weather, we've had some nice days, but today, you know, the weather has not been changing quickly enough to keep up with these spring sports, so it is a bit chilly, but again, glad to be out here. It's sunny. It's a beautiful day in Evanston, Illinois, and most importantly, the Northwestern Wildcats are up 4-1.
Yeah, I mean, you can never complain when you're seeing a Northwestern Wildcat game day. And yeah, you know, I mean, kind of like all Ernie Banks and the Cubs. I mean, let's play too. I mean, I am a little bit cold out here, but at the same time, I'm ready and excited to be here for 2 games. I hope the players are as well. I mean, it would be a huge statement if they can hold on to this one and start off the next one strong.
Absolutely. As the Cats now pitching, and Boyd pitches it over to Hull with the hit, but it'll get over to Kansas Robinson quickly enough, so that'll be an out here for Mississippi State.
And yeah, I mean, again, Bridget Dane has been probably one of the players of the game. I mean, maybe not offensively, but on defense, of 3 really great plays. Obviously, she made that catch to end the inning with a little jump. And right there, a really nice one-handed glove catch. No double clutch. I mean, that's just the type of play you want to see from a third baseman, usually the strongest fielder on the team. And
so the freshman Morgan Stiles, who's had a couple of errors so far today, with a ball, or I should say Lauren Boyd pitches a ball. So we have 1 ball, 1 out so far, top of the 5th. As this game, it starts to, it's been speeding up a little bit. Not a lot. It's really, Northwestern has fared better than Mississippi State, but both teams kind of struggling to get on base, as we've got a strike here from Boyd.
Yeah, 6 hits for Northwestern, only 3 for Mississippi State. I mean, that's under 10 total. You usually don't see that. I mean, these are 2 teams who are used to scoring a lot, and that hasn't happened, which is fine. I mean, sometimes this is just the type of game that you end up playing, and Lauren Boyd is the one that's in her hands to continue that streak.
Absolutely, and Northwestern really riding that high from that first inning with 3 runs. That was really a huge play there for the Cats, and that's really what's, you know, marked the difference so far in this game, as Boyd pitches a ball. So we've got 2 balls, 1 strike. Morgan Stiles at bat for Mississippi State, and Boyd here with the pitch, and that'll be another ball. So we've got 3 balls now. Northwestern here trying to beat Mississippi State at this endurance game in the elements, Evanston, Illinois. Opening weekend here for the Cats. And there's a strike there for Northwestern. The crowd getting into it a bit.
I mean, continuously at Mississippi State, they continue to taunt. She tried to run over, throw her bat down, and just walk over a walk. That is not a walk. Home plate umpire Michael Hurst said no. She's given bunt. So we'll see what happens here in this final pitch.
And it's a strike, a swing, and a miss for Styles. And that'll be 2 outs on the Mississippi State Bulldogs.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's why you don't taunt. I don't know. I'm not going to be one to say that like that. That's a superstitious thing, but you know, you kind of earn yourself that when you're rude to your opponent.
Absolutely, Pierson. I mean, I think, you know, in diamond sports, right, baseball and softball, they kind of have their really unique, you know, sort of way of taunting and kind of, you know, you don't want to say trash talking, but sort of, you know, kind of getting a bit chippy. And it's interesting. And in this case, it did not work out for Mississippi State. So Sierra Sacco will now be batting for the Bulldogs. Sacco, the center fielder and senior, batting .511 on the season. So she's having a really fantastic season there for the Bulldogs.
We continue to talk about her time and time again. Obviously, luckily, struck her out in that first at-bat looking, which is really, really crucial for Lauren Boyle. We'll see if she can do it again.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see as we have a ball there to start out. And Sacco with 33 RBI on the season, 47 times making it home. I mean, or 41 runs, I should say.
41 runs, 47 hits.
Yes, 47 hits.
Sacco's so prolific. I mean, her as well as Rillian Chafin. I mean, they're the two kind of figureheads. Albeit let's call it the Mount Rushmore of Mississippi State softball this year. And I'd also say, I mean, it is important to note we briefly got a little bit of sun. It's a partly cloudy day here in Evanston. And that did feel nice to us. It did feel nice.
It did feel nice.
But the sun unfortunately goes away, and hopefully Sacco will go away to the bench after she strikes out again. Predicted.
And so Lauren Boyd here pitches another ball. So we've got 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs though. So Northwestern really looking to kind of put this top of the 5th away. Very close here to getting that 3rd out, but Sierra Sacco is so prolific, and it'll be difficult as Emma Ray sort of dropping the ball a bit there, but it didn't matter. It'll be a ball 3. So Sacco close to making it onto first here, but Lauren Boyd has been in this position before. 3 balls, 1 strike.
And against Sacco too. I mean, this is the first at bat of the game. Pitching coach coming out again, so another mound visit, or pitching circle visit rather. Again, like I mentioned before, Playa and Cunningham for the Cats are ready, warming up. We also have Lauren Curry in the bullpen right now, warming up as well, just in case. It's kind of interesting for the Cats. I mean, 3 pitchers available, and all 3 have warmed up, so they're really trying to keep all their options open. All 3 right-handed pitchers, which is also kind of interesting. But either way, I mean, as of right now, Lauren Boyd will stay in the game, but clearly they have options ready to go.
Absolutely, and Northwestern here, I mean, for as much as, you know, Mississippi State has kind of managed to, you know, chip away at Northwestern, at the end of the day, they only have 1 run, which was the very impressive, albeit home run. So really, Northwestern has done a good job of limiting this Mississippi State offense as Lauren Boyd here with another pitch, and Kansas Robinson catches the ball. It was hit by Sacco toward Robinson, and Robinson gets the out. She makes the play, getting her way to first base, and that'll be 3 outs. So Northwestern now, once again, shutting out Mississippi State in an inning, and heading into the bottom of the 5th, the Cats hold a 4-1 lead.
I think the most important thing, Tomas, I mean, the 4 runs are great, a really great hit by Izzy Kanea, but at the same time, I mean, I think defense has been the key here for Northwestern. I mean, great pitching, and not only great pitching by Lauren Boyd, but also just great play by the Cats behind her. I mean, I think that really helps energize a team and energize a pitcher when you know that even when these balls are in play, your players will be making those plays. And limiting a team like Mississippi State to only 3 hits so far is just so cool to see, and really promising for a team like Northwestern, who just looked so poor yesterday.
Absolutely, and just to kind of paint you a picture here, Pierson and I have now stood up during our broadcast, kind of, get moving a bit. It was getting a bit cold there, sitting down, so I think, standing up gives us a little more movement, get our blood flowing a little bit to try to combat these windy, chilly conditions here in Evanston, as both teams Mississippi State right now out in the diamond, kind of warming up a bit, throwing the softball around as we enter this bottom of the fifth. Northwestern looking to get on the board again. They have not done so since the second inning. Really, it's been their defense that's kept this lead so far.
It has been their defense indeed. I mean, obviously, it is cool to see a crowd here. Everyone kind of just finished their finals. Of course, Tomas, was in Atlanta visiting a friend at Emory because my finals ended early. But hopefully, if there's any listeners who are students, that your finals went well. And we're glad that you're spending the time listening to WNUR and listening to a great Northwestern softball game as Kansas Robinson will come up here.
Absolutely. It is officially spring break now, as if anyone was unfortunate enough to have a Friday final, that would have been yesterday. And it is now spring break for Northwestern as Kansas Robinson is at bat, bottom of the fifth, and Lexi Sosa with the pitch, and it'll be a ball, so we're at 1 ball. Of course, 0 strikes, 0 outs. Kansas Robinson, the first baseman who was able to make that play just now at the end of the top of the fifth to get that 3rd out on the Bulldogs. Sosa with a pitch, and it'll go slightly to her right-hand side, so that'll be a 2nd ball. So 2 balls, 0 strikes, 0 outs. Robinson still at bat for the Cats. Robinson waiting patiently here for Sosa. Sosa, who's relieving Raylan Chafin from earlier in this matchup. Sosa once again with a ball, so that's 3 balls in a row to start us off here.
That is what you want to see. I mean, great plate discipline from Kansas Robinson. Obviously, only batting .214 this season. No hits today, but good contact in both at bats.
And Kansas Robinson will now get a strike, the first strike here of this inning for the Cats. So 1 strike, 3 balls. Robinson, the Indianapolis, Indiana native. So Kansas is indeed not from Kansas.
Yeah, there you go.
And Kansas ends up getting walked over to first base. That'll be 4 balls there from Lexi Sosa. Not sure what Sosa's strategy was there, because as you mentioned, Pierson, Kansas Robinson is batting .214 on the season.
Yeah, I mean, one of the less prolific batters on this Northwestern team, if we are going to say any of their batters are prolific. I think the top 3 is. But yeah, I mean, the bottom of the order getting to shine a little bit here as Richard Donahue comes up.
Donahue now batting for the Cats. Sosa with the pitch, and it is indeed going to be a strike.
And she needed that. I mean, the kind of just a little bit of a curveball there, setting the tone. I mean, you'd expect a fast pitch, but Sosa just decided to slot one in there and knew she could convince her that it wasn't a ball, it wasn't a strike, and ended up just dropping it.
And now Sosa once again, and Donahue was going for the bunt, but she was unable to get enough contact on there. So it will be another strike as it went into the foul area.
And Tomas, I will say, this is kind of untraditional. I think we've seen like 7 different batters individually going for bunts on both teams combined. I think that's definitely unorthodox. But I mean, yeah, they're just trying to do anything they can to make contact and kind of move the chains, or move the bases rather.
Rounding the bases, one could say, as Sosa there with the pitch, and it's a swing and a miss from Donahue, so that'll be a strikeout, 1 out on the Cats. And now we've got Izzy Kania batting for the Cats. If you recall, she made that big play earlier, the triple, to get the Cats on the board in the first inning.
Yeah, and that is the difference right now. Obviously, Mississippi State got a run back in the 4th. Still 3-run lead, and that's definitely courtesy of Izzy Kania.
And Kania now hits a foul ball to the right-hand side of the diamond, so that'll be a strike on Izzy Kania, who now has 10 RBI on the season so far. Lexi Sosa, the graduate transfer from UCLA, batting for the Bulldogs, as this Northwestern crowd is getting into it a bit, trying to motivate the Cats here. And Sosa with the pitch, and Kania will send it over, and the foul ball is caught by Riley Hull, so that'll be an out. 2 outs for the Cats.
Yeah, right there. I mean, a nice piece of contact there from Missy Kanea. Just going down the first baseline, but Riley Hull was able to track that down. A nice play by her. As Emma Ray will come up to try to do something after getting on base in the first at the walk. I mean, Lexi Sosa shut down the next 2 batters.
And Lexi Sosa with the pitch, and it'll be a bit underthrown, so that'll be a ball. Emma Ray, the catcher for the Cats, at bat. Pierson and I kind of moving around here in these chilly conditions, and the pitch will be a strike this time for Sosa, so we've got a strike and a ball. And the Cats, I mean, so Northwestern now with 1 player on base, on first, and while you could say it's been a bit slow the past couple of innings, you have to give them credit for maintaining this lead, as Sosa now with the pitch hitting another, once again it'll be another ball, so 2 balls, 1 strike.
Yeah, just good discipline from Emma Ray, showing why she is a veteran. I mean, this is something maybe you see a first-year player swinging at that pitch, but just had a good eye there.
And Sosa once again, and Ray hits it straight to Sosa, unfortunately for the Cats. So that'll be a 3rd out and the end of the 5th.
I mean, if you want to see the definition of nonchalant, Lexi Sosa is there, right there. I mean, that ball was hit right at her super quickly, and she just put her glove up, had it right there, and shrugged it off like, yeah, you know, that's a good. And that's just a great play from Sosa to get out of the inning after giving up the walk to start it. Just going 1-2-3 after that, and the Cats will go down or put down a 0 on the scoreboard in the 5th. So 2 more innings, Tomas, in this game. The Cats still have a 3-run lead, which is going to be important. I mean, there's not too much time left for Mississippi State to come back. It will be interesting, though, to see if Lauren Boyd will continue to stay in. It looks like she's on the field, which means that she will. And so I think they're just going to give her a leeway until she potentially gives up another run, and I think that might be the time in which one of these other players comes back in. But right now it's the Lauren Boyd show, and she's limiting the damage. Only 1 run on that huge, huge home run over Wells Shrine Arena.
Absolutely, and, you know, as I was talking about a little bit earlier, sure, the Cats haven't scored since the 2nd inning, but at the end of the day, they've done a good job at just kind of chugging along, getting through these innings, not giving up, I mean, only giving up that 1 home run, but other than that, giving up almost nothing. And Northwestern has maintained this 4-1 lead. I mean, it's a low-scoring game, but that's kind of exactly what the Cats want, because if it becomes a shootout, if it just becomes, you know, who can hit the most homers or, you know, the most long balls, Northwestern is not going to beat Mississippi State at that kind of ball game. I mean, you just look at Mississippi State's batting averages, and it just won't happen. So if Northwestern can bog down the game, it's cold, it's windy, you know, they can just out-hustle the Bulldogs and really just grind this one out, and that's what they've been doing so far. So now we'll get this 6th inning underway. Top of the 6th. Lauren Boyd still pitching here for the Northwestern Wildcats. Nadia Barbary at bat for the Bulldogs, and Boyd hitting the ball under there, or throwing the ball under there, I should say. So 1 ball here. 1 ball, 0 strikes, 0 outs. And it appears that the scoreboard here at Drysdale Field still hasn't updated. It still says we're in the bottom of the 5th. It should be the top of the 6th. Boyd here, and she's able to catch the hit from Barbary, which went directly to her and sends it over to Kansas Robinson for the out.
Lauren Boyd just said right there, you know, Sosa, if you can be nonchalant, I can do it better. I mean, just another ball right at the pitcher. Lauren Boyd able to handle that and throw it to first. Once again, shrugs it off. I mean, 2 great plays by 2 great pitchers for the respective teams. And that's a huge first out for Northwestern. Only 5 outs to go in this game for Northwestern.
Yeah, I mean, and it really does become a question of, there's no clock, but it does become a question of just outlasting Mississippi State and getting to the end there, as Jessie Blaine is now at bat, and Lauren Boyd there makes a good pitch.
Yeah, the fans did not like that call. The call is obviously a ball.
Yes, the call is a ball.
Yes, the call is a ball. Michael Hers staying confident with this pitch, and that I think was a ball, and he called the strike. It might have been a makeup call there. But either way, 1-1 here. Probably would have been 1-1 either way. But Jesse Blaine, obviously with an impressive .338 batting average, has done really nothing today.
And Blaine now with the swing and a miss. So that'll be a second strike here for Lauren Boyd. And yeah, it looks like, Boyd, they're giving Boyd the leeway here as Emma Ray and Boyd are discussing a bit here in the pitcher's circle. They take a bit of a break. They're talking it over.
And yeah, home plate umpire Michael Hers having a laugh with Northwestern's catcher, Emma Ray. It seems like the cool thing about the Big Ten, obviously they have Big Ten refs here for a home game, is that they kind of know each other. The Big Ten is a community, even with this 18-team field now. I think that that's still kind of like typical Midwesternness almost stays true for both the players, the fans, and even the umpires.
Absolutely. As Boyd now pitches a second ball, so 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Top of the 6th, and Northwestern doing such a good job of limiting this Mississippi State offense that put up 14 runs on them yesterday. So really, really a completely different story today as Jesse Blaine hits the ball over to the left-hand side of the diamond. It's a foul ball, so that'll be now going back to Lauren Boyd. Boyd looking to strike out Blaine. 2 strikes, 2 balls.
And 1 out.
And 1 out indeed, as the Cats are inching closer to pulling away against this Mississippi State team, something that, was definitely not the case yesterday, losing 14-0, as Blaine is now going to hit it once again into the foul zone. Mississippi State 25-6 overall in the season, ranked number 19th in the nation, a very high-power program out of the high-power SEC. Northwestern, 3-time Big Ten champions the past 3 years in a row. However, it is worth noting that the Big Ten is not as deep of a conference as the SEC. Lauren Boyd with the pitch, and that will be a ball. So 3 balls and 2 strikes.
And interestingly to us, there's this there's a construction zone next to the softball field. Obviously, a bunch of people working on the new Ryan Field. This little crane thing came by, and the driver is just hyping out the team. He was clapping his machine with the claps of the fans. And I think that's pretty cool to see. Even the construction workers of Northwestern getting involved with this community. It was pretty cool.
And Blaine once again hitting a foul ball. And if you notice, there's a couple of construction workers. They're kind of standing on the bed of a truck, watching the game right now.
Hey, if you're gonna take a break from work, why not have a break at Drysdale Field?
Absolutely, the game's right here. All of these, this whole kind of athletic complex for Northwestern. And Blaine hits that's the 4th foul ball in a row here. But yeah, it's about a mile or less than a mile north of campus, and you've got this whole complex, right? So there's Walsh Ryan Arena. You've got the new Ryan Field being built out here, and you've got both Diamond Sports as well.
Yeah, very cool campus. Obviously, baseball just got some new renovations. The basketball stadium recently in the last 10 years got renovations, as does the new football field. So naturally, as we've kind of mentioned throughout this broadcast, hopefully softball will get their new stadium by next year. I think they're aiming to start construction, ideally if they can get to their $20 million goal by the end of this season. And I think that would definitely be needed. You can see the fans are packing the stands, and you'd like to see some more room for them to be able to do that. And also to give, every team, I don't know if you've seen this, Tomas, but in Welsh Ryan Arena, the locker rooms have fingerprint scanners. They're so nice. Volleyball, wrestling, and 2 basketball teams have their own clubhouses, and yet softball doesn't.
And Jesse Blaine hits the ball way over, and that is indeed going to go home for Blaine after hitting 5 foul balls in a row. Blaine makes her way to home plate, and that's exactly what you don't want to give up if you're Northwestern. They've done such a good job at limiting the Bulldogs, but Mississippi State, they're such a high-quality team. that they can just come up with big plays like this.
And yeah, I mean, that's a huge at-bat for Jessie Blaine. Her and Carousels, both with home runs. Carousels is on deck now. So, I mean, this is kind of a concerning territory for Northwestern. They're going to leave Lauren Boyd in the game. Only a 2-run lead now. Two players very capable of getting back-to-back home runs potentially. Hopefully we do not see that. Her Kyra Edwards, who leads the team with 7 home runs for Mississippi State.
So, Kylie Edwards at bat for the Bulldogs. Boyd pitching a ball here after that Jessie Blaine home run. So Mississippi State with 2 runs, both of them homers. Edwards at bat, 1 ball, 1 out, top of the 6th, and it'll be another ball here from Lauren Boyd. So 2 balls, and Boyd discussing with her teammate Grace Nito.
And interesting, kind of just figuring out the defensive position. We're going to see another pitch circle visit for Northwestern. The pitching coach getting a lot of action as well. I mean, yeah, the infield's kind of talking about how are they going to defensively line right now. Obviously, there's no more shifts in college baseball, or college softball rather, just like there isn't in the pro leagues. But yeah, it's kind of just adjusting and figuring out with a pull hitter and a lot of pull hitters on this Mississippi State team. Obviously, only 2 left-handed batters. I mean, it's kind of like how do you limit the damage? And so I think they're trying to figure that out right now. I wouldn't be surprised to see if they keep the infield in and the outfield out to either prevent big runs or easily get an out.
Absolutely, as really for Northwestern, they want to get this inning or this top of the 6th done and over with, right? Because you need to stem that bleeding. You need to limit the damage that is being done, because if Mississippi State can gain some momentum, gain some traction from that home run, that can become very dangerous very quickly, and that 2-run lead could evaporate. So Northwestern here at a crucial point in the game, top of the 6th, 6 out of 7 innings. Lauren Boyd and Kylie Edwards with the hits. However, Northwestern able to make the play. Kansas Robinson once again at first base, getting the out, so that'll be the 2nd out here.
And yeah, obviously good play, Kansas Robinson. A little bit of an overthrow by Bridges Donahue, but still, I mean, Bridges Donahue, another great play. We talked about her time and time again defensively, and that was the defensive change. I mean, they were not positioned that way before the mount or the pitch circle visit, but the third baseman was easily able to get it there. Donahue, nice play, right where she should be, and just planned.
And Donahue has been tested a couple times today on the defensive side, and she's done a good job so far. As Kiara Sells at bat, it's a ball to start us off. So Lauren Boyd still in the pitcher circle. 1 ball, 0 strikes, 2 outs. Sells, of course, hit that insane home run that went over onto the roof of Walsh Ryan Arena earlier today. And so now a strike here from Lauren Boyd. So 1 strike, 1 ball, and Boyd has to be very careful with Sells. Hailing from Jasper, Texas, as mentioned earlier. Boyd winds up, and that'll be a strike. Fantastic pitch there from Boyd.
Yeah, that's kind of a heat check almost. A bad pitch right before that, and able to slot it in there. Now 2 strikes on ball. I mean, this is a pitcher's count. So let's see what she can do with it.
So Boyd once again, and if she can get the strike here, that's it for the top of the 6th. And it'll be a foul ball. So Kiara Sells will stay at bat. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, top of the 6th. Northwestern up 4-2 over the number 19 ranked Mississippi State Bulldogs. It's the first game of a doubleheader here at Drysdale Field. Live here from Evanston, Illinois. You're listening to Tomas Moran and Pierson Strandquist on WNUR Sports. Lauren Boyd here in the pitcher circle. She will continue. She's been pitching for the Cats all game so far. Boyd, and that ball is going to go way out. It'll be a foul ball on Kiara Sells. It went above the Mississippi State dugout.
And into the bullpen,
Yes.
where Lexi Sosa is staying warm. And she almost caught that ball, too, trying to make a defensive play, and you might as well practice if it's coming to you.
And Boyd now, once again. Lots of foul balls here from Mississippi State lately. Jessie Blaine hit 5 foul balls before hitting a home run, and Kiara Sells gets walked. Lauren Boyd hits her with the pitch, and Sells will go over to first base, and that's not what you want to see if you're the Wildcats.
Yeah, Lauren Boyd, that's a mistake. You cannot hit her with the pitch when you have 2 strikes. I mean, that was the position you wanted to be in to get out of the inning. Instead, you have Paige Ernstis, who's having a good season, 2 home runs and only 21 at-bats so far. I mean, Paige Ernstis is kind of on ready 2 for 2 today. I mean, she is ready to go, and that's not the person you want up to bat.
She's batting .455 on the season. Very impressive numbers from the freshman, and Ernstis is going to hit it way out, but it is a foul ball, and the Northwestern outfield unable to get there, trying to get the out.
I mean, that was pretty close. That was probably about 15 feet away from the foul pole from being a home run. Good effort there from the left fielder for Northwestern. Izzy Kanea, but unfortunately she's just not able to get there. Luckily not a home run, and so another chance for Lauren Boyd.
And so 1 strike, 0 balls, 2 outs. Lauren Boyd, the senior pitcher for the Northwestern Wildcats, and she will send it over to Ernstis, who hits the ball and it rolls over, but it will be a foul ball and it'll be another strike. So 2 strikes and 2 outs, 0 balls, and this is now ideal for Boyd. Only 1 more strike and she can end the top of the 6th, but she will have to avoid committing the same mistake she did just earlier. Boyd. Kiara Sells on first base for Mississippi State. Boyd in the pitcher circle for the Northwestern Wildcats. Paige Ernstis at bat.
Calls a timeout right there. That's smart to interrupt the timing. You saw Northwestern doing that at the start of the game in the first when they got those big runs against Riley and Chafin, kind of calling timeouts to hurt her timing. Mississippi State trying to do the same against Lauren Boyd.
And so Lauren Boyd had to wait a bit due to the timeout, but she'll wind up, and the pitch goes under, and Sells looking to possibly steal a base there, but Emma Ray was alert, and she managed to avoid a dangerous situation there for the Cats.
Sells knew better than to run. I mean, just been a great defensive game for the Cats, especially for Emma Ray, who got the 2 great plays to catch people stealing. I mean, you're not going to run on her. You just can't do that.
And Sells hits a foul ball into the dugout, and she almost caught someone there. It was looking like she might hit someone in the head, but fortunately everyone ducked, and it'll just be a foul ball.
And yeah, her dugout is teasing her. One of the players, I think, said, "Don't decapitate me." And obviously a little nice, funny moment there for the team. I mean, Mississippi State continues to hit foul balls that almost hit their players. I mean, I think 4 into like the batter's box and a couple into the dugout. I mean, it's like a magnet over there in the left field dugout.
And Ernstis now hits a fly ball, but Northwestern is able to make the play, and that'll be an out. That's the 3rd out and the end of the top of the 6th. So the Northwestern Wildcats will now return to at-bat here, as it was Kelsey Nader, the center fielder, who made the play there for the Cats.
And yeah, I mean, Kelsey Nader, a really, really nice play from her. Nice running catch, able to get there. Obviously not too big of an outfield, but even still, that's a tough play. And able to get that, that's huge for the Cats. Those are 2 hours into this game, the bottom of the 6th, and then 3 more outs for the Cats. I mean, hopefully they can add some insurance runs here with only a 2-run lead. But Lauren Boyd is looking to potentially pitch a complete game. We'll see what happens. We'll see if she stays in the game. It'll be interesting what the choice is for the Cats.
At Northwestern so far with a really strong performance. And, you know, again, it's worth noting that when you play a team 2-3 times in a row, no matter who it is, it's very difficult to beat that team every single time, and Northwestern really showing a bounce-back performance after that 14-0 loss against the Bulldogs yesterday. And especially, you know, you got to mention that home field advantage, and right now Northwestern really using that cold weather to their advantage, because it is a chilly day here in Evanston, 40 degrees at the moment, 39 actually. So, you know, that's definitely not conditions that Mississippi State is used to. Although it is worth noting that it could be worse. It is technically 10 degrees above the average temperature for March 22nd. And we'll get this 7th inning, bottom of the 6th. The bottom of the 6th inning underway.
Entering the game and leading off the bottom of the 6th inning for Wildcats, number 77.
Lexi Sosa will continue to pitch here for Mississippi State.
But Lexi Dowden comes into the game here. So she's going to pinch hit.
And so Dowden now batting for the Cats. She's entered the game. Kate Dowden, the freshman for Northwestern, so they'll put her, the first-year outfielder, they'll put her in for 1, maybe 2 innings, depending on how this game develops. 1 ball so far, and now Dowden with a hit! And she's able to make her way. She goes to first. She was kind of thinking about going to second, but she makes her way to first, so she gets on base with her first at-bat of the day.
And that, Tomas, is the first hit for Kate Dowden. Her first hit of her college career, so congratulations to her. A nice little single, the fans, everyone getting so excited for her, and she deserves that. So yeah, first hit in her first at-bat of the year.
Absolutely, so great start here for Kate Dowden here at home, the first year, and you can see some fans here getting excited, and yeah, it's great to see from the relatively new Northwestern Wildcat.
And yeah, that ball was just given to the bed. She will be keeping that as a relic for the rest of her life. I mean, a huge moment for her, and she's just ready to base run now.
Avery Garden with the bunt, and Garden sprinting over to first base, but unable to make it. However, Dowden now at second.
Yeah, Kate Dowden there. Nice hit and run play. That's what you wanted. Advance the runner into scoring position. With only 1 out here, Tomas, the Cats have a chance to get an insurance run if they can knock Dowden in.
Absolutely, and as you mentioned, Pierson, it's all about, trying to give Northwestern enough of a lead to then close out this game in the next inning. So Grace Nito back to the top of the batting order. Nito at bat, Sosa with the pitch, Nito with the hit, and she'll end up getting tagged out. However, Dowden now at third.
Yeah, Dowden's at third. Interestingly, she's number 77, another interesting number. We talked about Kylie Edwards, 67. Yeah, I mean, for the Cats, it seems like Mississippi State's coach is talking to the umpire about something. It might be running out of the baseline. I don't know how that would impact the play, considering that the result of the play was an out. But maybe just making sure that certain things will happen as the umpires are getting together.
Yes, it appears that there's some discussion here between the umpires.
And Tomas, typically this would be the time where we send our listeners to a commercial break, but unfortunately we can't, so we all just have to kind of wait at the same time for this call. And yeah, the call's an out. I'm really not sure what Mississippi State was looking at. I mean, maybe the call at first was safe somehow. I didn't see any motioning. Maybe just making sure. We'll get more clarification from the scorer's table in a moment.
And as we've got this wind continuing to blow, Northwestern is maintaining a 4-2 lead here against the number 19 ranked Mississippi State Bulldogs. Kelsey Nader at bat, Sosa with the pitch, and that will be a ball. So we got 1 ball here. Nader has been solid for the Cats at center field today so far. The junior batting .338 so far on the season. And that'll be another ball, so 2 balls and a strike. 2 outs, which is important to note here. Bottom of the 6th. Northwestern Wildcat softball here taking on the Mississippi State Bulldogs, live from Drysdale Field in Evanston, Illinois. And Nader now with a hit. However, she will go out as the first baseman for the Bulldogs, Riley Hull, was able to get there quickly enough without much effort, and that'll be a 3rd out. So now we're going to the 7th and decisive inning, Pierson. The Cats up 4-2, so they're going to look to put this one away at the top of the inning.
And yeah, I mean, Tomas, we're about 2 hours and 10 minutes in this game. Cats have gone through it continuously with the lead after the bottom of the first. Obviously, a huge play by Izzy Caneo, a triple to give the Cats a 3-0 lead. Of course, the Cats got another run in the bottom of the second, but slowly but surely, Mississippi State has been clawing back a home run in the fourth and the sixth by Kiara Sells and Jesse Blaine, respectively. Of course, the Cats are able to get out of that tough bottom of the sixth, or top of the sixth, but we shall see. 3 outs remaining. Can the Cats do it? It will stay. The ball will stay in Lauren Boyd's hands. She'll continue to pitch, hoping to get a complete game here.
Yeah, it looks like Boyd will attempt to close this one out, and this Northwestern team, they've worked so hard to just kind of outlast this Mississippi State Bulldogs team. And I think it is important to note that Northwestern, they've shown that fight, they've shown that grit, that kind of tenacity, on every ball. Even if it's a foul ball, they're kind of just fighting for it. And Mississippi State, meanwhile, yes, some very impressive plays, a couple of home runs, but overall they've been a little lackluster. They've been a little clumsy out there on the pitch with a couple of errors, and so Northwestern, they really can't afford to let those errors slide. They have to take advantage of this situation, take advantage of this opportunity, and come out with a win. And so we'll get this 7th inning started here between the Wildcats and the Bulldogs, the Cats and the Dogs.
The Lauren Boyle will be facing Morgan Bernardini here.
Yes, indeed, Bernardini, the left fielder for the Bulldogs, and Lauren Boyd getting things started off on the right foot for the Wildcats. It'll be a strike. And Boyd in the pitcher circle. 3 outs away from a win against ranked Mississippi State. Boyd with the pitch, and Amaray dropped the catch a bit there. It'll be a ball. The crowd not happy with that call.
Yeah, it looked like a strike. I think that, obviously when you drop the ball as a catcher, you can't expect to get that call. It's hard to see as an ump if the ball is dropped. So, an unfortunate situation there. Could have been 0-2. It's 1-1 now.
And so, Boyd once again, the windup, and that will be another ball. A bit of a controversial call there from the umpire.
Michael Hers is sticking his ground, the home plate umpire, the crew chief. He said, he called 2 balls in a row. He has his strike zone, and so he's been sticking to it pretty consistently all game. So I think that it's not fair for people to complain.
And Northwestern here catching the fly ball. It'll be Kaylee Avasado with the catch, and it will be an out on Mississippi State. The Cats 2 outs away now.
And that's big for Kaylee Avasado. We've mentioned earlier in the game, she redeemed herself, 4 errors in the game yesterday, a double today, and a really nice play there to get the first out on the Cats' way to close this one out in the top of the 7th, up 4-2.
So now it'll be Ella Wesolowski entering the game for Mississippi State as she takes a swing and sends it over to the foul area. It'll be a foul ball. Wesolowski, the sophomore for Mississippi State.
And she comes in and replaces Riley Hull. We mentioned how Riley Hull was kind of the worst batter in that lineup at 236 and kind of a few situationally bad hits in which she could not convert, and finally here an underclassman getting some time to potentially help Mississippi State out.
Wesolowski batting 167 on the season, and it'll be another foul ball, so that's 2 strikes.
Wesolowski only with 2 RBIs, but one of them is a home run, so the Cats do have to be careful. She does have some power, and all of the right-handed batters for Mississippi State can say that. 2 really pull-hit home runs. Obviously, the one kind of 2 opposite home runs, one kind of over the Welsh Ryan Arena, and one just barely out. Hopefully not a repeat for Wesolowski.
So Lauren Boyd here with the pitch. And that'll be a ball. So we've got a ball and 2 strikes.
And Lauren Boyd really wanted that call. It was very close. I think it was a ball, but it's super close. A good pitch there and a good take from Wesolowski.
And so Lauren Boyd once again here with the pitch, and that will go too far over to her left-hand side, so that'll be 2 balls and 2 strikes. Still 1 out. Top of the 7th, Northwestern up 4-2, looking to close out this game against Mississippi State, trying to get the low-scoring win. Boyd in the pitcher circle.
And smart play there from Emma Ray, using her catcher's timeout. But it took too long. There was a few seconds left on the pitch clock. Remember, the pitch clock was obviously fans of Major League Baseball were surprised to see that addition a couple years ago. That's something that's been a staple of college softball and college baseball for a while.
And that'll be a foul ball there from Wesolowski.
And yeah, Wesolowski's been staying alive, really good at bat. I mean, taking some really hard pitches. I mean, super close. Called balls 2-2 right now and just kind of battling this one. Already has 7 pitch at bat.
And that's something that the Bulldogs have really done, especially the past couple of innings. They've managed to, with 2 strikes, just get a bunch of foul balls, and that's precisely what occurred on that second home run. There were 5 foul balls before the Bulldogs hit that homer. As Wesolowski now hits the ball over, but Kansas Robinson able to catch the ball and make the play quickly enough, so that'll be a second out.
What a play for the Wildcats. I mean, a beautiful throw by Kaylee Avasado running to her left side, picks up the ball barehanded and slots it over to Kansas Robinson. And yeah, you could give Kansas Robinson credit for catching that, but that was all Avasado there. And a wonderful play proving why she is out there at shortstop despite her errors yesterday, and there's a reason why she's here.
No, absolutely. Avasado, very impressive at shortstop today, making a fantastic throw. And just a fantastic play overall. And Avasado, like you said, Pierson, really redeeming herself today with some great play as Morgan Stiles is back at bat for Mississippi State and Northwestern here. Looking to close this one out. 1 out away. 1 ball, 0 strikes, 2 outs. Lauren Boyd with the pitch.
And Morgan Stiles is a really interesting setup. In the batter's box, she bunts. She practices her bunt timing, and her batting stance essentially is she pretends to bunt right before the pitch is thrown, and then she goes back into her stance as the wind-up's happening. And so it's a really interesting strategy.
And so it'll be a 3rd ball here. So 3 balls, 0 strikes, and 2 outs. And
another pitch circle visit, Tomas. Yes. We've had 6 of these. The Cats have used pretty much all of the ones available to them. And yeah, I mean, Morgan Stiles, her thing is working. The first year, the kind of bunt strategy is working. She already walked earlier today. And this would be really big for Mississippi State if she's able to get on base, because then the top of the order comes up. The Sierra Sacco, who you haven't seen do anything today, is kind of due. You don't want to be facing someone with a 500 average down 2 runs. I mean, she could change the game in an instant. 6 home runs, as well as Nadia Barbary, the second batter. And you don't want to be giving up 2 or 3 runs here. So this is a huge at-bat. We'll see if Lauren Boyd can rally back from a 3-0 count.
And Northwestern here, with that additional pitcher circle visit, I mean, they just really don't want to take any chances, right? 1 out away, so close to a win against Mississippi State. Northwestern really wants to make sure they can ice this game. Boyd with a strike here on Morgan Stiles.
Nice pitch there. Just get back into rhythm. 2 more strikes is all you need.
So 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Very, very close here, but not close to the end of the day because it is a doubleheader as we get a strike here. Stiles was running over thinking it was a ball, going over to first base, but it was indeed a strike.
And the Northwestern fans are getting into the, once again, all day we've been talking about how Mississippi State's been taunting, throwing their bats, kind of doing whatever they want to get in the heads of the Cats. It's not happening, and it's getting loud here in Drysdale Field.
This could be the final play here. Boyd with a pitch, and it'll be a foul ball hit by Stiles. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. So 1 strike, and that'll do it for the game. Top of the 7th, Northwestern up 4-2. Lauren Boyd, the senior pitcher, who has been in the circle all game long. Morgan Stiles at bat here for the Bulldogs, and she hits it. And Northwestern able to make the play, and that'll do it for the game. Cats win. Bridget Donahue over at third base, able to make the play, sends it over to Kansas Robinson, who gets over to first base in time, and Cats win against number 19 Mississippi State, and they gain redemption after that loss 14-0 against the same team yesterday.
All I can say, Tomas, is what a game for the Wildcats. A 4-2 win, huge, a complete game for Lauren Boyd, lowering her ERA. I mean, just the dream scenario for the Cats in this first game of the doubleheader. Of course, we will be back. Hopefully, you can figure out some commercial breaks. Either way, though, we will be handing it off. If you're listening on the radio, we'll be handing it off to Calvin Kaplan in the studio. If not, if you're listening on YouTube, make sure to tune in to 89.3, the airwaves. There is many of ways you can listen online. But otherwise, we'll see you back in about 40 minutes at 3 pitch time. We'll probably be back on the air around 3:50 or 2:50, 2:55 maybe. I'll be on play-by-play that one. So for Pierson, Strandquist, and Tomas Moran, we'll see you in a bit.